everything
Send
Wickety
in
Split
goat
ready to
team
go.
6 now.
Smoky Shadow, thanks for the Twitch Prime sub, my man. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a kick out of this one. Let me think. All right, what do we gotta do? Okay. Gotta change my name to give Twitch
Do we
URLs.
Guess who's
bro.
jerking up? What?
Why wouldn't you?
Are we doing the?
Are you watching me?
Are we allowed to be in the server still, or do we all have to leave?
It'll kick
I
you
got
out
kicked.
automatically, bud.
It didn't kick me, but I just left.
Well, guess you're
Facts.
special.
I was
You can
being
say it
special.
if you want.
I was
I
special
know.
when I'll go there.
I like a cheese and
I like the cheese and the
I like looking at
Mountain, you're
special
computer
shiny
You represent us. Don't act like an idiot.
I like big
I
butts,
am
and I
an
cannot lie.
You other brothers can't
Just
deny.
Indigo is a confirmed
They're
furry?
thinking
Is that
around
what I
thinking,
just
your
heard?
face you get
That's
smoked.
Liru, by the way, but
Stray Dog, you're expecting too much of Mountain.
By the way,
Twig,
if you have a
actually-
Twitch URL and you want to be a part of the multi, please pass it to me so I can make it. Thank you. Love you all. Good luck.
I love you too, Liru. Have my
Twig, that
babies.
really shouldn't be news.
Please paste it somewhere.
That shouldn't be
afterwards,
news.
Liru.
Oh, so
I'll
me
paste it
and,
when I'm done with it.
me and G-Legs are going to confirm make a Anderson OnlyFans.
Oh.
Let's go.
Interesting.
Dude,
I'm
Do we
interested.
get
I'm
kicked
so
off?
happy
Been
this is
waiting all
happening.
year, boy.
What's up? Wait a year and I'll make one. Take that as you will.
Do we
Take
get
that as
some
you will.
Do we get some cheeky heel pics?
I'll give you ankle.
Oh.
Yeah, we have a camera installed in his shower.
Good evening, and welcome one and all to FNF EU. Today, on the 2nd of October, another Friday has come along. I hope you're all doing well. Before we go ahead with tonight's event, just a couple of few announcements before we begin. Just a reminder to everyone on the rules and regulations of playing along. Let's keep it light and fluffy and enjoyable. Remember that we're following the orders of people that are given to us, and don't be running off going rogue. Vehicle rammings, we've not had any cases last week, which is fantastic. It's the first time in a while, so let's keep that consistency up. And uniforms, remember, don't be stealing other people's uniforms, that's not good. Steal their weapons, that's fine. Steal their radios, but don't be stealing their kit. For all the community leaders here tonight, there will be a community leaders meeting straight after the event, provided we have good time, potentially a small break beforehand, but we'll see how we're doing closer to it. Right, let's get started. So I'm going to read out your community name, and community leaders, you're going to tell me what your numbers are. So, starting off, 13th, how many have you got?
We have 2.
15th,
We have 2.
19th, 7,
It's just more like 9.
29th,
8.
2nd MRB, Anti-Stasi community,
9.
AA,
4.
All right, multi's
Arma
made.
Finland,
6.
FK,
Yeah, I got on this server.
Scandi Recon,
5.
Griffin,
Griffin
have
with
two.
the
Tau,
6.
TKP.
2.
Or is that just TK now?
Yeah, it's just DK, and it's 2
Roger
people.
TSB.
11.
Damn, Lloyds are bringing the numbers. Zeus
Pronouns.
community.
9.
BIA.
4.
Are there any other groups who I have not called out?
1 RW7.
And 242 is 2.
Cadian is 2.
Send in Goat Team 6.
That Cadian is 2.
Correct.
Smoky Shadow, thanks for giving out a sub and it landing to
Fantastic.
Ardenian.
Anybody from second
Sorry if I
MRB
butchered
here
that name. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a kick out Friday nights
That'd be
tonight.
one
Hope
person
you
me.
enjoy this operation. I'm
One,
finishing
fantastic.
up the mission command right now, and we'll
Cool.
get to everything in just
Okay,
a second.
So, let's have a look. It's an attack defend. Opt for attacking with a 20% advantage. So, TSB, you're bringing the numbers tonight. Would you like to start off by attacking or defending?
We are going to defend.
Defend, fantastic. So if you want to jump, what was that?
Before we continue, everyone make sure your task force radio is updated and all that stuff. And if you're part of the World War II op, that you switched back over.
That's a good shout. So everyone who took part in the historical op last Sunday, make sure you're back on the right settings before jumping in, so that you don't get deaf and everyone gets upset in the safe start. So, TSB, if you guys would like to jump on independent, you have option for leadership.
Nope.
Fantastic. TK, opt for option for leadership.
I will take it. Dylan, just jump in one of the company command slots.
Tau,
That's a negative,
Optful.
Aspid. You cannot lead this one.
Wait, whose one's this? I didn't test this one, I think.
You did.
Did I?
Yep.
Fuck. That's fine.
Okay, Roger. No leading for
I'll
you,
jump
naughty
down.
boy. Scandi Recon, opt for option for leadership.
All right, mission command is made.
Anyone want to take it?
I can.
Fantastic. 29th, independent.
And I gotta
option for
update
leadership.
the multi.
The first.
19th, opt for. Let's get anti-Stasi community, independent, option for leadership.
Heard it.
What was that, sorry?
Nah, negative from me.
Roger that. Armour Finland, opt for. AA, independent, option for leadership,
Let's switch up the music.
but not Greg Legs.
We'll take
I'm
it.
good.
Get us in the mood.
Roger that. Zeus community, opt for. BIA, independent. 1RW, opt for. 242, independent. Cadian, opt for. Griffin, opt for. FK, independent. Second MRB, opt for.
And my cat showed up.
Let's have
Right,
a look how these
I'm gonna get
numbers
some
settle.
water.
And we'll make sure you're getting started nice and quickly. Remember, if you're here as an independent, I will come through at the end and allocate where you guys are going to go. So everyone who's not an independent, if you can't slot up, jump out and jump back in. And
Where
we'll
did you
work
say
for you
second?
then. Second are opt for, please.
Thanks, bro.
Okay, let's get 13th opt for and 15th opt for.
Quick question: independent defending or attacking?
Attack.
Independent, opt
Was it
for
defend?
attacking, independent of defending.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone, let's get started up nice and quickly, so I can make sure we only have our independent players remaining, so I can slot them up where they need to be. Okay, Adriando, independent. Alcatraz,
We're almost up to 120.
Azafugaho, Op4. Danza, independent.
Ooh, that is a chunky
Deep
mission.
Brit,
We got tanks today.
Op4. Fact of House Logic, independent. Harry Ord, Op4. Max, Op4. Misu, Op4. Oddball, independent. Private Hudson, Op4.
Cause I can't make it on my...
Oh, that's a
Oh,
hard
right,
one
my
to
mic's
say.
on. Shit.
That's, thank you. Leishman, independent. Smith, independent. Spring, Op4. Gorskiewski, independent. Tibbers, Op4. Venata, independent. Let's see how those look.
Venator.
Thank you.
Each side
Can I
gets
feel
a
like a
T-72B, aka a tonk.
Roger. Remember, guys, if
And
you
yes,
are
it's
streaming,
spelled with
send
an O.
your streams across, your stream links across to Liru so we can set up the multi-Twitch, help boost your views. Okay, so that
Tonk with
appears
an
to
O.
be everyone pretty much slotted up. Aim at my balls.
Alright, so
if
it's
you go
Pierce
in-
versus Stray Dog. I'm scared to look. Larry, that better not be... Damn it, Larry.
Yes, Venezuela, that's fine.
Larry gifting out
yeah,
27
sure.
subs,
Send me
but
a
only
message with
6 came
the
up.
team name for you two, and I'll keep you guys together.
Give me one, but I'm
Did my
connecting
OBS just break,
Oh,
or
so it
did
doesn't matter if
Larry
it's full, I
finally
think?
run out of gift subs to give out?
No.
It matters which team you're on, but you can take whichever slot you fancy.
Send in Go Team 6.
As long as you're not
Larry, it looks like you finally run out of gift subs.
Only,
You've run out of subs to
groups
give
and,
people.
but there must be at least 2 people.
Oh my god, it only gave out 6 of his
Okay,
gift subs.
Pierce, you've got 1 minute.
It still counted.
Torstein, can you push up the Charlie squad lead, please? Thank you.
Oh. I don't know what to tell you, Larry. I mean, first off, as always, thank
I'm
you, but wow.
Yeah, I'm happy.
It broke on
Okay,
us.
fantastic.
Larry
Straight
got
up.
scammed by Twitch.
Alright,
Larry
so
got
all I'm
fucking
saying
scammed.
is, French and Sholem, can you push down to Delta 1? I need you guys to take Conda Engineer
Oh.
and whatever else you want to.
There was no more two players to get, but we have people in here that should have gotten subs. I don't know, that's weird. Because there's people in chat that
somebody
are
fill
clearly
in
not
Charlie
subs,
Swappy?
so I don't know. I guess do them manually, Larry, to anyone who asks. That's the only thing I can think of, because I've never heard Twitch do that, because
And
we
then
clearly
jump
have
in at
people in
once.
here that are... I don't know, that's weird. But,
Mountain, I want you to
Domicus.
be platoon
Wait,
leader.
no, Dominicus, that's it. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub, and Twilight Eva, thanks so much for the Twitch Prime sub as well. I hope you enjoy Friday Night Fights tonight, where we're going to have about 115 or so people on the EU branch kill each
Okay,
other
any
for our
other
amusement.
amendments?
I hope you keep
Either
enjoying the Arma Ops if that's what
company
you also
leader?
decide to watch from me. I hope you're staying
all
safe
good.
among COVID-19.
Alright,
You
so
can be
for Charlie 1, one of your
safer
ammo
than
bearers, I
our
want
President of the United
the squad
States,
lead.
and I hope you all get a kick out of tonight. Remember, there are 2 branches of Friday Night
VIA.
Fights. Each one has
wanna use-
3
Oh, there we go.
missions
Thank you.
each.
Alright,
EU is beginning right now, and then we have NA, which officially begins in another 4 hours, 45 minutes.
Make a small little announcement.
Absolutely, my friend, go ahead.
Yeah, we just, I want to plug one of the rules. We've seen over the past couple weeks, groups of people going off and doing their own thing. That's not to be tolerated. You need to stick to the platoon plan and adhere to it. Otherwise, you're screwing up. And have time.
Members of TSB include Slushy,
Yeah,
Risen
remember
Kill,
individuals,
Procyon,
If you're in a vehicle,
Moxie
and you're
Bren,
responsible
Matt
for a
Nora,
radio,
Jay
speak it through to the high
Jay
command,
Osiris,
use your
Jersis, I
radio
always butcher his
settings
name,
and turn that thing
Iota,
up so you can still
Hadev,
hear it over the sound of the
Galil,
vehicle.
and Vincer.
Okay. let's go through.
Scandi Recon members include the standards, Nemesis, Flying Finn, Yanni Finn,
As we
Nafs.
load in,
I don't think Yander's here.
a big
I don't see him.
thank you to all of our contributors over on our Patreon.
But yeah, Infidel,
Sakara,
Yanni,
Lunis,
Nemesis,
Sparks,
and they said there was a
Hardcore,
fourth today, but I don't see him, so.
Staffelberg, Indigo Fox, Ricardo, and Nemesis. Thank you
Oh,
very
and Flying
much,
Finn,
guys.
yeah, so those are the four that are
Strong
here
effort
today.
to everyone who's donated. It's great to see it kick off so well. And for anyone else who's thinking about getting involved,
And we also have people like
on the
Ark Hallis and
finance
Audrey
channel and
Hotto that are
Discord,
coming
where you
as
can
solo
and you can
players.
Come and join us in becoming, helping to finance and progress this wonderful thing to run smoother and be bigger and better.
Got this new enemy plot.
I see how it is, Dingo.
Oh man.
Are you on that list?
Yes, I'm on that list. I was the second one on that list.
Roger, shout out to you as well. My apologies.
Racist.
Odd donator, and then the funds. It waited a month before taking the funds out, and I don't have it anymore. So
Yeah, it's all good.
that was strategically planned.
And for reference, our next goal from Patreon funding is to set up a dedicated EU server. So anyone in the EU that would like a better ping and is able to contribute, that is our next goal here.
Yeah, please do.
When's the Dingo OnlyFans?
Anderson only
When I lose another 12, when I lose another 12 kilos, base beard, I'll give you that show. Right, is Greg
Larry,
Rex
I'm
here?
just smiling and
I am.
shaking my head. You do
My friend,
whatever
would
you
like to
want,
take
my
us through
man.
our brief?
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon, ladies and ladies. Welcome to this Friday. Before I get into the briefing, this mission is
Larry, just
sponsored by
enjoy
Raid
yourself.
Shadow
That's all I
Legends.
can
No,
ask
I'm kidding.
Hell
Alright.
yeah.
So of course it's your usual defense, or I mean destroy mission. The objectives are non-sequential. Give you guys plenty of, or the attackers plenty of space all around
But thank
to do
you
their
again,
flanks
Larry.
or
Like,
whatever they want. So,
the money's only going to go to new
there's plenty of
stuff,
microterrain
and I'll talk
all around
about
the
it
map, so
in
plenty
the
of,
brief
enough
here.
of cover for infantry
But
to
top left of
maneuver and all
Kujari,
that
this
good
is a
stuff.
lot of
So,
room, though.
everything else is pretty basic, same as usual, and enjoy.
This actually might be the biggest AO I've seen in FNF in
Fantastic.
quite a
Well,
while.
for tanks, by the way.
Company leader, do you have...
So they're going to ask each other if there's any questions. I'm going to change my name back from Gimme Twitch URLs to LCPL Liru. I'm going to, let's see, let's do the Guardians, because this is a deserty map, so we'll put that on loop. Yeah, that one, baby. And Wheaton just added his to the multis, so... Alright, we got one more. I know you guys always like to... You have a multi to show off everything that you, see all the players' POVs and see them all kill each other. I get it. That's why we provide for you guys. I'm just scrolling in to see... The official count is going to be 118 people on the server. There were 3 people in spectator slots, so this is going to be a 113 player operation. Reminder, this is one life. The objective is Op4 starts in this zone. There's going to be a 15-minute safe start, and then... Oh, I don't like the looks of this. We got some frozen buttons here. That's why. It's because people are connecting. The objective is to destroy 3 ammo caches. So I am going to hit my keys right now to have my... get rid of that little interface right there and put on my tracers button. By the way, you're going to start seeing tracers in Zeus Ops, so hope you are excited for that. A lot of vehicles to work with here, and I also want to see what the MAT team is given. So Op4 MAT team is given a Metis. All right, interesting choice there, but we're also seeing, I thought I just saw another AT launcher of some sort, but that might have just been the shine of this. It looked like an RPG-42 from Vanilla, so got a Metis launcher, which means Green 4 will probably also have a Metis launcher. And that's pretty fair, to be honest. It's not an OP Titan or Javelin. It is instead something that you still have to direct onto the target. So that would be DeClark. DeClark also having... He only has an RPG. Wait, there it is. There's the other Metis. All right, so it's a Metis mirror match for AT. Now, let's get everything sorted here. So first off, for those of you that have never been to a Friday night fight operation, how it works is each side has a bunch of players, they get a bunch of assets, and depending on the operation, they have to stick to that objective here. Again, 3 ammo caches. Op4 has no idea where in these black zones the cache is, so they have to find it. We have the luxury of a bird's eye view, and we get to see the exact position of the cache, which, by the way, the defending team also sees these exact positions as well. At least I think they do. We're going to be able to see bullets fly around through tracer scripts, and we're also going to see grenades, both smoke and regular frags, get thrown around through little red symbols when they are thrown as well. Now, to break down the roster on the left side, if you're noticing all these things, recently Friday Night Fights has expanded their roster to show more units because they were hitting the number cap at 127. They weren't able to do the numbers advantages of the factions because so many people have been coming in. So to break it down real quick, let's scroll down to Independent since we're right here. Command represents Company Command because they're in charge of 2 platoons. So Stray Dog is the commander here, and he also has a Company Command level medic, and then you have 2 platoons, Platoon 1 and Platoon 2. So you got platoon lead, his 2 IC, a medic, and then a marksman per platoon. So each platoon has a marksman, meaning each side can have up to 2 marksmen. Usually this is a 7.62 rifle with an MOS scope for balance. Then you have Alpha, which is basically a letter, and it's by itself. There's no number. So this represents the squad lead and the squad medic. Then you have a fire team lead, and then a bunch of guys in the fire team. They have a medic, they have AT, and it varies. We'll see Arcalis' gear change in a second because he's not supposed to have that vanilla stuff. It's supposed to re-script there. But that's kind of funny that he still has it. Usually it changes. But otherwise, usually the AT, for Blue 4 factions, it's single-shot AT, the AT-4s, and Op-4, it's reloadable RPGs. Then you see the same thing with Bravo here. It's another rifle squad. And then Charlie, for Platoon 1, is the weapons team. So Charlie in one team has a machine gun, which for Op-4 and Green 4 factions, usually the PKP. For Blue 4, it's M240 Bravo. And then Charlie 2 is an AT team, also known as the MAT team. So that has some heavy AT. In this case, it's a Metis launcher on both sides. But you also see, usually it's a reloadable RPG for Blue 4 factions. It's the Carl Gustav. For Op4 and Independent factions, usually it's a RPG 42, which is the vanilla launcher that is reloadable. However, sometimes you'll see Titans and Javelins used for guided AT. Sometimes you'll see Iglas or other forms of Manpad AA, or in this case, you got Metises. So that's kind of the mission maker's choice. And then you'll have a second platoon that has Delta, Echo, and Foxtrot. Delta and Echo are the rifle team, and then Foxtrot's the weapon team. But that weapon team only has 2 machine gun teams instead of an MG and an AT. So it's only 1 AT weapon per group. And then your G groups, Gamma, those represent your vehicle crews. And then Foxtrot, if you have them, are pilots. Now, normally for AT teams, when you have something like a Manpad or a Javelin, only 1 missile is given to the main gunner, and then his assistant gets an additional 1 for 2 missiles total. For the RPG and the Carl Gustav, usually it's 3 and 3, so 6 total among the 2 players. And then Metis launchers, I think it's 4, but don't correct me on that because this is only, I think, the 2nd or 3rd time I've seen Metises in play, so we'll try to do a head count there. But otherwise, pretty well mirrored assets here. It's basically looking at Op4 here. They are primarily using, the SA weapons, actually. I think those are 7.62, though. So this is the Green 4, like it's a carbon copy of the AK that you see the Chernarus Defense Force use. Op4 might be only... 545. So they're fighting guys with bigger calibers, but they have a big numbers advantage to them. Both sides, again, having a T-72 today. Op4 getting an extra BTR, and otherwise the vehicles are pretty well mirrored. And the Gazes, I thought they'd be the armored car version, but no, they are just the transport truck version. But I mean... SPG-9 Vics, which both have AT and HE rounds, Dishkas, Independent also having 4 static 50 cals, 12.7 and 50 cal are the pretty much same caliber, with the exception of 12.7 is slightly, I think, longer, but only slightly. But it's basically a mirror match here with some slight increments because it's, you know, a Green 4 versus Russian faction. Usually they're very similar. Audrey Hotto's kind of... I don't know what he's doing. I think he's an AI, to be perfectly honest, just the way he's moving, the way that never initiated here. So that's interesting, because again, usually a script changes their gear, similar to how Coalition does things, but I don't know. It's interesting enough, but let's scroll up and check, because I know people were painting me. Yes, I would love to see a 100v100 death, definitely. I'm not sure if we'll get Friday night fights up to that ever, but, you know, that's how the Russian communities do stuff, and I'd absolutely love to see it one day, but we'll get there when we get there, you know? I think 100 people already is a big amount for Friday night fights, but I wouldn't want them to overdo anything, you know? So anyway, let's see. Ardenian, he's gifting a sub. That sub landed to B Snacks. Hey, Larry, look, the gift subs are working again. And Random Midocracy is also giving... no, he's getting a Twitch Prime sub on his own accord. Thank you to you both, technically the three of you. I hope you keep enjoying the ops. Hope you're staying safe on COVID-19. Hope you enjoy Friday Night Fights tonight, and I hope you get a kick out of this nice little operation. But I like the little added details they put in town. So this is an addition. That's not part of the map. This crop duster here, that's not part of the map. I always love the little details that get thrown in. These vehicle wrecks, for example, not part of the map. But the mission makers, they put so much effort into these missions, have a nice little amount of Easter eggs they put in as well, and it just adds a little bit of life, which I really, really enjoy here. So Green 4, looks like they're opting to do a single cache defense. With this many players, I get that, but a single AO is going to be a little bit tough. But, you know, in a large town like this, where you've got a lot of different places you can set up shop, I get why they would do that, though. There's plenty of room to hide people in the tall grass here. I guess you'd call these the rice fields. Desert Vietnam. We have a nice flag put over here, too, as a bit of a... it's in the AO, too, so this is a false flag. Actually, there's multiple flags in here, so that's to throw Op4 off of where the cache is, but one is close by. But I kind of like that. Again, just the, you know, trying to bait out Op4 here. I believe this will be a 50-minute round, by the way. But I can't be too certain. But just the sheer size of this AO, it's literally a little over 1/4 of the map is being used here, but... usually the AOs are just a fraction of this size, so I think that's quite interesting to see. I'll be really curious to see what the AI Arcalis unit does, because this has to be a regular AI here. Just the way it's been walking in this direction, otherwise it would have picked up a ride. And just seeing how everyone's setting up here. But this is a really big risk on Green 4's side. Naturally, choosing to defend only one of the 3 caches... means they're going to forfeit the other 2 caches, but Op4 is not going to know that, so they're going to be cautious getting into these AOs. But once Op4 realizes this, because they have that numbers advantage, they could pretty much raffle stomp the AO. But I kind of like this choice as well, because this means the full independent force is going to take on the full Op4 force at the same time. We see independent starting to make some fortifications around this area too, so it's just going to make it more even for the PvP to get things done. The most overpowered asset on both sides, I'd argue, is definitely the T-72. Ooh, look at that. They put a nice little observation post in a tree right there. See, again, the little details that get put around. I absolutely love them, but again, it's going to really be up to Green 4 to hide these machine guns well to try to gun down squads that come in, but I'm going to say whichever side has the better tank is probably going to win this fight, because that tank can do a massive amount of damage. Green 4's tank can stop Op4 from getting into this AO stone cold, and Op4's tank could easily just snipe out fortified positions with HE rounds or destroy the vehicle defenses of Independent. However, the real fear that these tanks are going to have to deal with is going to be the AT guys that are part of this Charlie 2 teams on each side. So Arcor, who is a staff member of Friday Night Fights, again, fielding that Metis launcher, for Independent. He's also got a buddy with him, so they have more missiles.
A waste of money, Kappa.
Meanwhile, scrolling up, again, we've got, gosh darn, that's Platoon 2. I actually don't see Charlie 2 on Op 4. Nope, they're all the way down here, so it looks like they have the full squad. Marco's being the main gunner, and I think Staten Bay is going to be the assistant for that. So really, it's just going to be a battle of, I would just argue, the tanks. And worst comes to worst, we have all those other assets, the BTRs, for example, to help field infantry and do fire support. But it's going to really be down to the PvP. This map is a really good armor map for, you know, tank combat, because they can pull up to the side. You got to remember, they can do bigger view distances than us. I'm turning the view distance up as much as I can here from the interface. That's with page up. But we'll have to see how things go. So we'll see how things go. I think I just said that. Ah, sorry, my cat's attacking my feet. Bramble. Dutch Eagle with the 8-month resub. 8 freaking months. A waste of money, Kappa. Definitely, because Twitch takes 50%, right? Yeah. Twitch takes 50% of the subs, 50% of the bits. Twitch is, yeah, Twitch makes a lot of money. Let's just go with that. That's why I always say, guys, if you really want to support a streamer, just donate money to them directly. If you donate $1, PayPal takes 30%, but if you donate a few dollars, PayPal only takes anywhere from like 5 to 10%. The more you give, the less PayPal takes. So, you know, I would say it's better for you to just wait and save, but, you know, however you want to show your support is A-okay. Just, I like to educate people, because I know some people are very anti-Twitch. So Hudson here, he actually is knocking out some of these bushes, I guess because he doesn't want them to be used against him later, but he's knocking down entire fields of these bushes. Wow. I think this is a little bit of a mistake. I think Green 4 could actually set up some really nice infantry traps in these bushes, but they're worried about Op 4 getting within this area and probably using the bushes to maneuver around. So yeah, Independent wants to basically take the urban areas to set up kill zones, and then the bushes, probably when Op 4 gets infantry in here, Independent doesn't want Op 4 to be able to maneuver once inside this area. So yeah, I can understand why they're doing it, but I would have rather used it to, you know, set up a squad or two in the bushes to ambush, not even a squad, like a fire team, because nothing is worse than getting some units behind enemy lines and just shooting the shit out of them from behind. Shade Shadow with the 25-month resub. So I sold. What'd you sold what? What'd you should sold what? What happened? I need to know. Ah! But yeah, Bearded, pretty much. Pretty much. But, pressed enter for some reason. That's fine. You can just rewrite the thing here, and I'll read it out for you. We also have a few guys. Looks like Pads is waiting on the edge as a marksman. Might go up into this facility. Again, what Green 4 needs to do is set up their external security and then get some sentries out to try to find where Independent's going to come from. Interesting enough, so Arcos, and I'm going to be watching that AI. We have the T-72 here. They're gonna go hunting, I bet. But that is exactly what that Independent tank wants to do. If they can go hunting and catch some of these vehicles out of position and cause a lot of infantry death early on, that will be game-changing for the operation. But there we go. Op is a go. But if I was that tank, I'd want 1 or 2 cars to go with me just to try to scout out where Op 4's convoy is gonna come in from. Just so that tank can have some extra sets of eyes out there. If anything, it would be risky, but maybe the SPG-9 truck would also be a good choice. Because the BTR, it's not maneuverable enough to get down here, but Op 4 already off the bat. I'll be curious to see how their force gets split here, because to them, they've got 3 AOs to take. So we'll just have to see how things go. We do have 2 guys over back here, I guess, as scouts. This is Platoon HQ2, so they have their marksman. I think they're just going to watch, but this would also be a really good AO for explosive traps. So, you know, some guys running, even though it's a cache destruction, using explosives to blow people up, it's a pretty good idea in my opinion. So we're having some early... Oh dear, did they... Let me guess, they hit each other. No, they hit a rock. Ah, yes, Kujari. It's a nice open terrain, but there are rocks, so you still have to be careful driving. I was worried we might have had a ground collision similar to last week's NA Ops, the first round. Blue 4 lost about half a squad's worth of dudes because 2 Vics hit each other. A little bit of water. And now we're just going to wait and see if any other vehicle mishaps happen. And Bloodwing's texting me about alcohol. What the heck? Alright, whatever. I'll be taking a few breaks here and there to text her, because she's lonely. And you always want to make sure your boo's okay. So interesting enough, with this Op4 formation, we're seeing a lot of Vics kind of rush out. But the tank is lagging behind. That's a little bit of a mistake, not considering that independent tank's going to come out. But the independent tank, in my opinion, is also being misplayed here. They're biased in the sense that they're defending this 1AO, so they're expecting Op4 to only focus on that 1AO, which is why they're over here, because if Op4 only had this cache to hit, riding the edge of the map would be a good strategy. That tank needs to be more towards the center of the map to cover more ground, because Op4 doesn't know the strategy here. So... that's tough. They need to be... Again, this is where additional vehicles helping the tank find hostile units would have been super duper helpful. You can see it maneuvering right there. Honestly, just reading the map, so we got, like, you know, 26 marker right here. That would be the best hill for them to be on to look at things. But, you know, there's also a lot of ground to cover with everything. Larry, are you offering to pay me for mod? Gosh, I just... man. Larry, what do you expect of me? I'm not just some person you can give a shit ton of money for mod. I mean, that's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. Like, come on, man. I have a little bit of class here, alright? I know it's not much, but there's... God, you know, I'm just so disgusted with that statement, all right? Don't ever talk to me or my sons again. Ever. I'm waiting for it. But anyway, Op4 is coming in with a massive convoy here, and we'll see how things go. But it looks like they're going to focus on the 2 empty caches first because of luck here. And then... I think they've also sent a recon force over here to come in on the right side. But I mean, look at this massive convoy. See, again, if Green 4 had the tank in the middle, they'd actually catch this one coming. But they're just completely out of position because, again, they're looking... They shouldn't be here. They should assume what Op4 assumes, that all of the AOs are in play. So they gotta be in the center here. So a little bit of a misplay by that tank. They're using infantry dismounts to scout, but really they just needed just a few empty vehicles would have been fine. You know? That's just me, though. There's the joke. Okay, so they might actually catch this vehicle coming up, but we'll have to see how things go there. But no, I trust Larry. Larry's been a T2 for a while in TSB, so might as well show that I do chill out. But yeah, we'll see if that Vic runs into a tank. I do like how they're trying to hide it here, but again, just a bit of a misplay. Something just exploded. Doesn't look like it was anything on Op4's side. It was Green 4 blowing out some buildings back here. They've also got a lot of groups set up over here. This is probably going to be a flanking force for later. I don't know why they demoed those, though. That's a big... That's where the other flags are, though. That's confusing. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to show that they're hiding the cache. I don't know. That's a weird one. Well, let's see. These infantry, this is one of the marksmen that have been dropped off. I don't think the Vic's gonna spot those guys out in the open because that tank could literally just go up and murder them. We got the BTR also coming up. And OPFOR is deploying its Vics over here to go for these two caches on the left. I like how they're keeping their main force, though. Tanks being a little underwhelmed here, being kept towards the back. Because, again, if Independent had the tank in the center, they probably would have spotted this massive group, and they could have done some serious damage because OPFOR's tank is completely out of position. But just, the tunnel vision. The fucking tunnel vision, man. I hate it. I hate it. I know, Larry, I'm just fucking with you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Not much to talk about here. Independence kind of lost the opportunity to dish some serious damage to the convoy. It could still come around, but by then the OPFOR tank's going to be in position to counter. And you're seeing OPFOR starting to do some dismounts, so their AT guy is going to also get out and ready to go. And long-range tank combat against Metis isn't that hard because you just have to have a guy looking at the convoy, looking for the AT guy. And if you see if you hear the pop of the AT launcher, the driver just has to hold S to backpedal, and as long as you're far enough away, you should be able to evade the shot. Well, otherwise, we're having looks like the AT Vic and an MG Vic driving back here. Again, that could also do some pretty nasty damage to the convoy, but with all the infantry starting to dismount the Vics, it's going to be less and less effective for that tank to, you know, get a multi-kill on a truck filled with OPFOR guys. So yeah, I think this is just the bias of Green 4. OPFOR doesn't know this position exists, but again, if they just centralize that, I get what, like, they were thinking. They didn't dumb themselves down enough to OPFOR's level, because OPFOR doesn't know where Green 4 is going to deploy their troops. But look at this interesting battle line we're having right here. We got the tank on the right. We have a transport truck in the middle, driven by a rando. And we got the SPG-9 flanking on the left. So I do like seeing these vehicles get divided among the entire platoon. That's going to work out really well for them to spread out all their heavy weapons. Again, looking for that independent tank, because they don't know where that tank is. And I'd be curious to know if Independent has any word on OPFOR yet. Instead, they're just kind of playing defensive here. Another thing I'm curious about, there's Arcalis' AI still with the vanilla gun. But that vanilla launcher is going to be really interesting. Wait a second. Wait a second. Hold on. I don't think this is correct. Hold up. Arcalis is running after the car that Arcalis is in. Wait a minute. Wait a second. If you're Arcalis, I think he's actually noticed that that's Arcalis. Arcalis has found his clone. And he's now coming up to ask him what he's doing here. This is a bit of a misplay by Arcalis himself. Arcalis seems to have a body double from the future. Just based off of this gear, this is definitely a chunkier weapon, a chunkier launcher. I think he's just staring at himself. I guess we got some Back to the Future plays here. Arcalis is going to get some help from his body double. And we'll just have to see how that plays in this operation somehow. I don't know. To say what it actually is, Arcalis probably lagged out while he was joining the server, but it still slotted him up. And then for whatever reason, when he rejoined the exact same slot, because you notice these are both AT slots, it didn't delete the AI. This is a very rare glitch in Arma. But with the amount of rare glitches that are in Arma, it makes them all common to see, but stuff happens. Oh, hold on one second. Someone just gave me another multi. I know you guys love multis here, so let me add this to the list. This is a guy named Dutch Recon. So if you want to see Dutch guys do recon stuff, do !multi and you can get it updated. I do like the little MG bunkers they've made, but now Arcalis looks like Arcalis is still staring at his clone, a little wary that he could be a spy. No, he's just changing inventories here. Looks like he's dropping the RPG to give the Hadav. No, he was, I guess, I don't know. He put him on the floor and then put him back on his backpack. I'd normally question that, but someone that has a clone of himself in the field from the future, I generally don't say anything. Anyway, looks like Independent probably spotted this Op4 force, and now they might try to go around and hit him from the rear, or they didn't, and they are trying to go hunt for that force now. Meanwhile, looking over here in this corner, you got 3 guys that are prone. Maybe they were engaged by the Op4 group over here. Maybe they spotted this guy. I don't know, but they seem to be alerted over something. And it looks like the marksman maybe is trying to crawl into position here. Meanwhile, Arcalis and Arcalis are still around. So this AI is tied to the squad leader here, or at least the group leader, which is why he's running around. But hold on, if I click on him, we have Arcalis. Wait, there's 2 Arcalises. Which one's the real Arcalis? I guess we'll never know. Yeah, just AI following the squad leader. Arma's a perfectly wonderful game with exactly 0 bugs. 0. They're all features. It was Arcalis. You see, he did really well last week, so he was able to call in a favor called Divine Intervention, and he chose to have a clone of himself. I would have gone for the attack helicopter, personally, but you can never be too careful. But meanwhile, Adrihato and Gorski, Adrihato's coming for his multi-kill! They're going to try to drive behind enemy lines here. We still got a lot of Vix nearby friendlies here. They could definitely score kills on these BTR-70s, which are fully geared up here. This could be an interesting first contact here. Normally we don't see that much with first contacts. Meanwhile, we have these guys. I think they definitely know that Op4s or Independents over there, because they're definitely looking in that direction. That's why they got down. We're seeing some map markers also being put down, someone holding their mouse button to wheel that out. Oh, this could be devastating. They have their own engines on, so they're not going to hear the enemy engines coming in. SPG-9 breaks over. This is going to be a drive-by. Come in. No one's pulling rear security. Oh my god. Is Independent not gonna fire? What? 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 Are both teams just bad today? Like, what just happened? You had a perfect rear shot on BTRs. Like... See, now you got people looking around. They're not going to be able to do that again. Like... Why? All they needed to do was notice this force and then line up an SPG-9 shot and then pull it back and then do a wide berth. They could have gotten a pretty knocking out one of these BTRs, using an HE round to knock out a group of dudes that had an LR next to them. There were so many targets of opportunity here. I mean, this one would have been devastating because it's filled with guys and there were dudes climbed on the back, so they would have noticed that and then gotten... Why? What a fucking squander! That was perfect for Independent! Absolutely perfect! And now they're gonna come back in from the front where the Vics are facing. What is this? No, there's no way in hell they didn't notice that Op4 was here. They literally just drove right next to them. Like, what the... I thought Audrey Hotto was gonna get his new level of multi-kill. Actually, hold up. Maybe he did that to spook them so they'd all mount up here, because now both of these BTRs are filled to the brim. Vic's coming back around. Audrey Hotto trying to line up an AT shot. Will he get it? He's gonna drive right in front of these BTRs. He misses! What are you doing? Use the Dishka on the BTR. Get the multi-kill. That's... Oh my god. What are you doing? Well, okay, he shot the driver out of that, Vic. He's completely ignoring the BTR. Another SPG-9 miss. The gunner just went down. Tank beam... Nope, it's going away. Why didn't you just... Dishka the... That would have penetrated and gotten so many kills. Another SPG-9 miss. What are you doing? You blew up a car. Oh, this pisses me off to watch. What? There we go. Maybe? Never mind. But, may you die well, Independent. May you die well. Do we still have Platoon HQ back here? They just take Spider out. BTRs are coming around to potentially drop off troops to close the gap here. There's an entire BTR filled with infantry being pulled back. We got Bob coming around. Security should be called here, but Bob squandering by spraying, gets headshotted by Audrey Hotto. So Audrey on 2 kills. They're shooting machine gun rounds over here. BTR pulling around. Someone needs to get on that SPG-9. They should hear it. You should hear it, guys. There's the mount. Perfect shot. Perfect shot. Multiple RPGs coming in, knocking multiple guys out. This is what you wanted to see. Okay, so Independent getting a little bit of their skills back. More RPGs going up on that. That's cooking it off. Okay. Alright, a little less squandering as Audrey Hotto, the man that has the kill record for Friday Night Fights, getting his 4th kill off of a multiple dismounts of a BTR. Most of these guys are probably going to be wounded, so if Independent forces now push their offensive here, they could be able to lock things in. Meanwhile, there are only 2 wheels down on that SPG-9, and there's 2 spare wheels in the Vic, so they could recover that SPG-9 car. And there's also transport trucks back here that they could utilize. Meanwhile, Command firing back, trying to snipe Gorski out, as these guys are now pushing that position. Alec firing widely here. Audrey Hotto might be cut out of the open here, and he is shot dead by some of the dismounts back here. So a little too far of a wide flank. That's because there's not that much concealment to go around here. But these Independent guys are sweeping things through. We just saw a tank shell fly back here because the T-72 is angry, but he's got a really good sight line over here. One of the guys is turned out as a glitch. That's a little bad. But yeah, all right, these guys are starting to make up for that, I don't even know what to call it, play right there. So Op4, meanwhile, they're looking for that 1 cache. Independent has the advantage right now because they've gotten a lot of kills here. And we have some people pushing up. Unfortunately, Banana Man was too smart. Or was that Immonum? Nope, it had to have been Banana Man because he has the kill. Okay, no, it was Ash. Sorry. Found another Independent guy over on the left and hit him down. Meanwhile, you got some guys pushing up. They're looking around trying to find more stragglers as Op4 tries to pull their units back. You're seeing some more bullets. Banana Man trying to get a shot right there. Unfortunately, exposes himself. Crawls out of position right here, but is not spotted by Independent. Gorski. Oh, Immonum showing some PvP skills right there. Getting a double kill off of Independent forces right there. And this leaves this one poor Chad to try to get some kills here. Smoke round going around. I don't think that's what Banana Man wanted to fire, but I would say this Independent force did its job despite the little mishap that happened there. But there was definitely missteps on both sides that, not gonna lie, hurt a little bit to watch. But wow, like, personally, that SPG-9, they could have hit one of the BTRs in the back, pulled back, came from a different angle, hit the other BTR in the back. Just because you're mobile, or the Dishka could have mag dumped that other BTR as it came back when they filled up. I mean, just, people forget 50 cal and 12.7 can penetrate BTR 80s. And with it fully loaded of dudes inside, it will cause a significant amount of damage. But just wow. Just wow, wow, wow. That was, I mean, it still ended in Independent's favor like it should have, but oh man. So meanwhile, these guys have to have been told that the main Op4 force is way over here now, so I wonder if they'll reposition. But ay. So Pizzagrin, he's gotten a few kills, probably from the AT hits on that BTR. He's looking around trying to find an angle on some of these Op4 guys. If I was him, I would grab what I can and pull back, because he's already been identified right here. Instead, he's trying to find some angles. But the tank is shooting up at his position. Trying to get a few shots into Monum. Try to catch him out bandaging. Monum's head went up a little bit because he was too close to the rock. More tank rounds coming in, but that tank needs to be using something different. And it looks like the infantry are going to displace here. But Monum, he's getting suppressed by a tank. He's not letting that stop him, though. And we're seeing a smoke grenade now billow out. Op4, meanwhile, getting some units around. NASA with that SPG-9 car. You can tell by a little line in the back. He's pushed up to try to spot what's going on. PZ's trying to get an RPG out to see this tank. Bruh, that tandem is not gonna make it. You're just gonna get yourself killed. Bro, he's literally... Tank round went back, and it somehow... based off the smoke, I think that was just his round going off, actually. Throwing a frag out, catches a Monum out of position, manages to knock him out. Beautiful shot by this guy. And now he's going to decide to pull back. Not a bad call. If he identifies that he could repair the wheels on this Vic, he could go hunt that tank down. Whether or not he'll be smart enough to do that is anyone's guess. But again, each car has a spare wheel. He could pull the wheel off of that puppy. And that should still have some spare ammo or two. But Monum, he wakes back up. He's crawling by. Played dead after getting shot. And now we're having the independent tank starting to sweep around to the south. But this is the position the Op4 tank's already looking. I'd be really disappointed if that independent tank gets caught out of position. But the BTR is also joining him, as independent is now trying to be offensive in attacking the convoy as it comes in. But convoy's been mostly dismounted here as forces are pulling around. Looks like Op4 is going to commit a lot of its guys to the left cache now and try to sweep this through. This might be an hour-long operation, though, considering all the timing here, but we'll get a warning in about 10 minutes, 10 and a half minutes if it's a 50-minute operation. So we'll see how things go. Would a tandem... oh, yeah, no, a tandem would, because there's no... I don't think there's any ERA plating on this puppy. Yeah, no, that thing in here would definitely kill it. Or at least disable it heavily. Really, you want to aim for the rear, but that can do a lot of damage. The issue with the tandem warhead, though, is that it's slow and heavy. So, PZ here trying to see if that car's still up. I don't see any movement, so it very well could be that its engine's dead, which is something he wouldn't be able to fix. But he's just chilling in this car right now. And you still have a Monum bandaging up. Might try to look back and possibly spot him out in the open. He's definitely looking for him. He saw his binos out there. But the tank is now pushing north, and this three-man team is coming around. Might catch this other independent marksman team out of position because Pads is over there with that marksman rifle. It's one of them, at least. It might not be Pads. It might be Dingo. Nope, it is Pads. I was right. But they both got their rangefinders out looking for targets here. So it looks like Monum, he's going to go back north on his own because his entire group was shot. Sorry, I just hit that wrong button. And I want to see if PZG here will be able to repair those wheels. But overall, that was a Pyrrhic victory for Independent. In my opinion, that was dumb. That was just... Well, let's look at the roster here. Let's see how many skulls we got. So Adriano's team, mostly down. No other skulls are going to be seen on Independent, but Op4, we got skull, 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 and the 2 IC, skull. So, again, good trade-off, but there were just so many ways they could have done that better. So tank has stopped over here. It's trying to look for targets, but this intel's old, and that tank needs to now adapt. Again, it could catch vehicles out of position very easily, but it just seems to have been lagging behind this entire time. I'm curious. Looks like Op4 might have spotted the Independent team right there. They're having Dylan crawl up. They really need to get Bassbeard in position here to get these shots. These guys might have noticed. No, they did not. I mean, they're sitting ducks right here with their binos out, looking the northern pass. I mean, if they were to properly PID which guy had the marksman rifle, they could easily shoot out pads first and then pick off Dingo. I just heard another stray shot. We got some Op4 forces starting to come around this AO. BTR, again, Independent doing a decent job setting up where Op4 was, but it's too little too late. There's the shot. Unfortunately, none of them were headshots. Because why was... What? Why was the marksman crawling away in that volley? Maybe he was part of that first barrage, but... A little bit of a miss. I don't know, just Op4 is not hitting their marks today. Anyway, SPG-9 round coming in. I don't know where that landed. Doesn't look like we had any kills here, but that is exactly what you want to be doing with the SPG-9 vehicle attacking a fortified force. You want to get at an angle, you want to range it, shoot the round, and then go to some other position. That's exactly what Audrey Hotto's Vic should have done to at least force them to go mobile, because that means he could have gotten more kills, but now Op4, we're going to see how to properly use that SPG-9 car here. Meanwhile, Op4 has deployed in this cache site. They're going to find this other cache, Wickety Split. Independent's going to be able to call up on LR to say, hey, they're going for this one cache, so get ready to defend because the real fight's going to happen soon. But I wonder if these Vics will come and maybe Lichman will get into comms with that BTR, potentially get this Vic working again, but he's staying back just to be defensive. So this BTR is going to pass by. Hope there's no green-on-green incident there. And Op4, they're resetting right here and starting to look over the last AO. So I would argue it's still anyone's game. Independent has a little bit of an advantage right now with that initial strike, but that could easily change with all the assets that we have here. I mean, like, actual, like, head count, it was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it was basically 4 to 9 from the looks of it, which means it's a little over a 2 to 1. And then we have French, who's also dead. I think he was killed in the SPG-9 hit that happened up here, actually. So I think they hit up here. So that was a beautiful HE shot. And some blood down here, so they definitely use an HE warhead. And if they can keep getting licks in like that, they'll be A-okay. But anyway, PZ picked up by Nomas's BTR-70, and they are going to continue to be mobile. So that is cool. Too bad Drongo's active protection system script is not compatible with your mods. I mean, in my opinion, RHS's ERA armors do a pretty realistic job, but it's only against other RHS Vics. If you fight them against Cup or 3CB, it's not always proper. But anyway, Olaf opening up with the marksman rifle. Fred trying to range some shots. They got a good position on where Op4 is mounting and dismounting. No kills yet. Those two opening shots managed to spook the vehicles here. Oh yeah, no, these guys in a good position. Vic's going up right here. They're firing back, but they aren't being accurate. They're just firing in the general direction. That's going to make these guys kind of freak out around. However, a fast-moving Dishka car could easily come up and murder this marksman team. So it looks like Independence is actually going to pull their vehicles back. I personally think that's a little bit of a mistake. They could continue hunting here. But I do like how we do have some guys doing recon on the rear area here while the tank does Overwatch. But I think Independent should risk the tank going in and doing attacks because they have the defensive mat team that can take the tank out on the defensive advantage. So, again, a little bit of a misplay in my opinion, but this off's already been full of them, you know? So it looks like Pads and Dingo left this position and moved more inland here. It looks like they're being sent out to possibly go look for that SPG-9 car, which is repositioning as well. We might see the 15-minute pop-up happen in a few minutes, but that's still to be seen. So meanwhile, BTR has some dismounts right here. Olaf might be able to get some good shots, but he might be getting tunnel visioned here. He's looking too far to the left. If he were to look a little to the right, or a spotter were to be a little more on par here, they might have been able to spot this BTR mountain, but it's already pulling away. So I hope these guys have transport nearby, because if they don't, they're going to be out of this game very quickly, because they're not going to be able to get back into this AO, because it's a good 4 clicks away. So that cache has been taken out, and now Op4 is going to start folding in, but we might have the independent BTR drive up to one of Op4's marksman teams out of the blue, and the gunner is pointing the exact right way, but I don't think he's going to catch him. No, he might have. Gunner just turned right. Oh, he totally saw something. No, loop back around. Loop back around. Come on. They might be spooked thinking there's AT up there, but I know for a fact that he thought he saw something. SPG-9 round coming in. Looks like it landed far from this angle. I think he might have been trying to hit that battle tower again where people were. Maybe that tank's going to come up and get some kills here. Come on. Come on. They're exposed. You're looking right at him. You got a guy turned out with the gun. The gunner's even looking right at him. He's right there. You guys are freaking... Ah, yes! Yes! Get up there and kick their asses. They're going to spot Dylan. There's the machine gun rounds. There goes Dylan. Getting hit by that 7.62 coax. Grenadier round going on top of the Vic. I cannot tell if anyone's wounded or not. Doesn't look like it, but they're pulling back. Firing up here. Dylan might wake up from that, might not, though. I don't know if any of that 12.7 hit him on the main gun. But God, with that tank, they don't know that there's no AT guys up there, but they could totally go up and run them down. Again, they might think that that Grenadier round was an AT round or something, or they might think there's more guys up there, but gosh darn it. If I was looking at that roster and I saw dudes prone close by, I would, and I only saw a few, I would definitely try to run them down because... You know, the AT is very limited in Friday night fights. Especially if Green 4 was providing good intel, they'd know that their main force was over here, so this is more likely just a scouting group, you know? Meanwhile, Op4 making a push. There's the 15 minutes remaining marker. It's about to get very, very hectic as Op4 is now going to be a little more frantic to field their units in. Not a lot of cover going up to this position, but look at this beautiful little cop that Green 4 has dug. The one issue with this, though, is if the SPG-9 car gets an HE round in here, it's going to cause a lot of damage. So we'll see that combat happen a bit. Tanks coming around to possibly field in another few kills, but that thing needs to be used to run things down at this point. But Op4 tank coming in as well. I'm curious to see where C2 is. Where is Arcor? Arcor is... What the fuck? There he is. He's in the tower. That's the best position he's going to be in to spot that tank from coming in. But since the SPG-9 has already been engaged in that spot, you have to assume that Op4 knows about that position and is going to treat it like a threat. But with how both teams have been playing, anything's possible here. So Op4 tank now pushing up. They're going to find Dylan's body. And they're looking left now as Op4 is hiding. I don't think they spotted them, though. SPG-9 round landing again on that tower. Ooh, multiple shots. So that's denying Arcor the ability to go up there and spot things to hit. We have another dead body up here. So that's the second one that SPG-9's been able to hit. Beautiful call there. We also seen some vehicles getting shot out. But yeah, no, these guys blew up these buildings to use them as cover. Not a bad call there, but now the main fight is beginning. One Op4 guy's down. He had an RPG, was probably knocking that Vic out. And now you're going to see all these assets get fielded. Meanwhile, the tank and the BTR need to now ignore that area up there. Looks like Dylan bled out. Might have gotten double tap. But they need to now come up from the south and engage this position, at least to try to find where the enemy armor is. Meanwhile, Op4 tank coming up in the AO, mounting the gun, but he is firing the... Never mind, I forgot. Soviet technology is awkward. So he is, dead. He is dead now. Okay, well, glad we sorted that. Interesting debacle there. AT round coming in. It is close. All right, so that tank, it's doing its fair share there, though. We have another guy down. If I was Smith, I would grab that PKP and start using it. That's a better weapon used for fire support. AT coming in. Arcor's clone is down. No! Arcor, your man from the future is dead, unfortunately. And BTR looks like they did a massive push right here. They are right on top of the cash position. Amonum went up. He is down, but he's hidden. And grenades are being tossed back and forth here. There is combat everywhere as another BTR is being fielded. Actually, it's the same BTR now coming around. And Independence vehicles are completely out of position. You have got the marksman team coming in. But yeah, no, this tank could do a lot of damage because Arcor hasn't been able to get up to a spot to do anything. You have the SPG-9 Vic coming up here. They're going to try to probably check this area out. But Op4 losing a little bit of the firefight right here as they're trying to breach into this one spot. Goatland doing a big push up here right on top of a smoke grenade, popping some grenades really close. And that managed to knock down Andrew. Another guy going down. Goatland, another guy we see really good at PvP, getting 2 kills right there, clearing out this cop position as these guys are now throwing grenades back and forth here. And we just had an AT round come in. That was Arcor firing at the tank, but minimal damage as these vehicles are rushing in because where is the independent vehicle support? They're finally... No, they're still going away. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. So this tank is now going to be able to go in here and get super CQB here as the BTR is firing at a bunch of different directions. Another AT round came in because this tank was being used a little carelessly, but it is still a static target. I'm not seeing any cook-off going on here. It can still do a lot of damage from that one spot as a static turret. So other Op4 round coming in. Some guys that were on the back are now dead. T5 Bay pulling out by the Vic. Logan desyncing to ignore all those shots, but then his own BTR just killed him. So this Vic is now cooking off. Independent doing their best to try to prevent the guys dismounting, but T5 Bay needs to get away from this Vic. He's crippled. He's screwed. And there's the explosion. Wait. There it is. Whoa, no, Bay actually survived. Interesting enough. A lot of fire going back and forth. More Op4 guys coming on reserve here. That tank firing rounds in as well. There needs to be more AT put on the engine to fully cook it off. It's also stuck in a wall. Interesting enough. But yeah, I'm really annoyed that these independent Vics are just... They're, I guess, trying to stay on the back line, but Op4 is already rushing everything in. It's neck and neck right here, because this is where the really important fight is right here, because the cash is right there. Op4 doesn't know that specifically, though. All they know is that the Vics are right here. But, yeah, no, those Vics need to be a little less out in the open. Again, we see units being used overcautiously all the time in Friday night fights, but the proper information is not being condoned here. Look at that grenade throw! Literally right next to Stin, it just followed him up to this building. And we still have independent guys crawling around. Op4 needs to make some initiative here. We're seeing these tank rounds still firing around. Independent standing firm. But Twig King pushing around. I think he is streaming, by the way. He just has to find an area. He might pick up an enemy gun to confuse audio PID, or I guess he might be looking for bandages. But now we're seeing the independent vehicles finally coming around. And they're firing at Scandi Recon, who is pushing up. But at this range, it's still not going to be 100% effective. Goatland, no, it was being shot at from up here. One of these guys was able to get a kill. Op4 could still clutch this because they are right on top of this cash position. They still have a good number here. 4 still up, fighting against 5. But Twig King, he's going to volt around, and he might catch Stray Dog defending this cash right here. So Independent loses another guy. Twig King, I think he's seen the cash, so he might try to breach around the other way to catch Stray Dog out of position. He's gonna catch Allen out of position. And there's one headshot right there. I mean, are any of these guys EOD? No, but there is an EOD guy. Royd, if he is told to come over here, they can put some demo on that cash and still clutch this from Independent. It's still anyone's game. Dooley's down, probably from the tank rounds. And Twig's running around. Stray Dog unfortunately gave himself away, and Stray Dog goes down. Twig is now gonna probably start mag dumping this cash, but Independent is in dangerous water here. They could easily lose this match. Twig King just has to do a lot of mag dumps in here. Montgomery's gonna start running in. Standers might catch him out of position though. He also has the Metis. Oh, but Montgomery gets him as he's crawling up. That Metis shot could have destroyed the cash easily. But now it's going to be up to Twig King to get some mag dumps in or get Demo to come in and assist. Montgomery, he might he's going to probably play a little more cautiously now. Now he just saw an Op4 guy run up to him. More AT coming into this tank. And guys are getting gunned down around it, but it's going to be up to Montgomery to clutch. But T5 Bay also coming into this building. So Twig King trying to throw some grenades on it. Montgomery's running in though. If Montgomery's listening, he could catch him while he's reloading, but he's stuck vaulting in because of all the Independent Forces defenses. Montgomery running into the bullets to try to stop the shots from going down. Now I don't see how Op4 could win this. So that Demo expert we saw earlier, he is now dead. Independent rallying around, but just the misuse of tactics here on both sides almost let Op4 clutch this victory. We do see an Op4 guy's woken up over here. He could pick up an RPG and possibly sneak in, but now Independent's going to be a lot more defensive of this cache site. Meanwhile, Nemesis running in, sweeping this cop. Getting some double taps, making sure he gets the kills here. He could also do a clutch because he's pretty effective, but this tank has survived all sorts of punishment. I'm willing to bet that the clipped-in wall is also stopping a little bit of damage because that's just how Arma works, especially over that engine block. And, honestly, we got some more Op4 guys coming around. They're trying to avoid the tank, but the tank's going to start running them down. But, yeah, if that tank just starts mag dumping that area, it's still anyone's game. Spring could pull an Audrey Hotto and get multiple kills here. Marco wakes back up. Was Spring a medic? That's why Spring was a medic. And we have 2 more that could push it. It's close. This is very, very close. And the tank shooting in here, I mean, they could do some additional damage here. There's still bullets flying on both sides, but it's just, we've seen 2 types of squandering of assets on both sides in this major fight. Op4 was a little over-aggressive here, but they kind of had the advantage. Meanwhile, Independent was a little more cautious, but they missed most of the fight, and they're just doing sweep-up right now. Nemesis stuck in the Hesco barrier. I guess he was trying to vault over. Hurts himself a little bit. He's going to go for kills here, because I don't think anyone's told the Op4 command where that cache is. Hudson, I think, was just shooting at Nemesis. Naf's also pushing up. 2 really big PvPers here. Ooh, Nemesis might get cut out of the open here by this private first class. because of those small windows. Nemesis instead opting to vault over instead. And Naf's also joining him because PFC, he's going to come around, shoot Naf's in the back, gets the kill. Nemesis cut out in the open. No, manages to vault the wall. Ooh. I think Nemesis might have just shot an independent guy over here dead. So he's on 4 kills too. But this PFC looking around trying to find him. Oh! Whoa! Nemesis winning that fight. Both of them taking a lot though. Gets the double tap. Quickly reloads the box. Spring, meanwhile, getting caught out of the open as he's maneuvering. That is not good for Op4. Marco's still up. He is going to play this cautiously now. Might catch Hudson out in the open. Manages to get him dropped, but not killed. So he might want to go for the double tap. But these guys, they're listening to PID. They'll be able to hear it. This grenade will probably keep him down, though. So, unfortunately, Hudson also has his dick blown off, but that's okay. Nemesis still close, and we still have guys in here. 3 minutes remaining. There are 4 independent defenders, 2 independent guys that are down. Speaking of that, aim at the balls close by where someone just had a grenade go off. But this tank's gonna have to dismount here because we still have 2 Op4 guys that have pushed in, Wheaton and Max. Meanwhile, independent Vics are still circling. Spreen, meanwhile, waking back up. He is a medic. He could heal himself. And Nemesis pushing on, staying to the rooftops, trying to find some angles on these buildings. He's going to see that cash. I wonder if he could mag dump it through the window. He's going to need a lot of ammo to do that, though, but that's also really risky. He could. He could literally take this out of their nose. Grenadier round going in, but there's the mag dump. Unfortunately, Nemesis gets dropped because he was a little too funneled right there. Marco coming up, shooting through the window, trying to get a kill. Doesn't look like it's effective, but that cash has taken quite a beating here. I would be willing to bet if more grenades went in, it would be all they needed. But now we got the vehicle crew guys putting grenadier rounds in here, I guess trying to knock the building. Op4, even though Independent has the numbers advantage here, Op4 is starting to close the gap here. Again, if Independent was less cautious with those Vics and a little more directs, not even just with the Vics they have right now, with all of their Vics they've had in play today, I think we'd be seeing a much different fight here. But 2-minute warning, specifically 1.5-minute warning, it is do or die. Op4, everyone's going to be seeing that clock, and there needs to be something that happens. That tank honestly needs to just pull into the AO at this point because it's not doing any favor staying out here. It tries to catch Max out of position. We have Paiju coming in, getting shot at by Max though. Little bit of a miss PID there, which is very unfortunate. Marco, meanwhile, coming around, throwing a grenade high. It's another smoke. Honestly, if you were to get to this window and put that tandem heat through the window, it would be GG. 1 minute remaining. Multiple smokes coming around. Honestly, if Wheaton gets that medicine, that would also be devastating. T5 Bay getting picked off. It is up to Dingle and Montgomery. They have 45 seconds remaining. Paiju now going offensive here. Honestly, just get the AT out. But the smoke is too thick. Montgomery knocking out Paiju. But Wheaton getting Montgomery. Dingo is now last man defending. Wheaton, you just need to get the AT out and boof it, man. There's no need to get the kills. But I think he just got him. 15 seconds remaining. AT, Wheaton needs to pull this AT out and shoot the cash. 10 seconds remaining. It's gonna be close. He's getting the AT out. And there it is with 7 seconds remaining. Oh, God. Ooh. I'm glad Op4 won this because, honestly, it's better to have your assets go balls to the wall and do something than your assets to be overcautious and do nothing when it's not critical for them to do anything anymore. Yes, the independent vehicles were... Did you just see that BTR arm itself on the caches right there? That was pretty cute. But yes, you know, normally you don't want your units to go balls to the wall and get wasted or squandered, but with that shock, that allowed Op4 to get units closer in, which let them set up that entire fight in the first place. So again, I'm really annoyed at Independent's choice of vehicle battles there, because they could have been so much better utilized in my opinion. But you win, you lose, you learn. So hopefully, I don't remember who was commanding Green 4 on that side, learns from his mistakes. But wow, just wow, oh wow, that was a close one.
2, sorry.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get everything updated here. This is going to be match 2.
19th.
Let's go ahead, look at the map command. This is gonna be on Shannara's 2020.
Like 8.
Like 8 or 8?
That's how many we got.
So 19th we got 8. Confirmed?
19th we got 8.
This is round 2.
Roger that. 29th?
Let's tab in.
7.
This is a sector
Second
control. Blue 4 is attacking Green 4.
Anti-Stasi community?
Stand by counting.
Roger that. AA?
5.
I'm gonna actually just play 2 obstinate because I'm a little bit tired.
Second MRB?
Send in Goat Team 6.
But also don't know how much fun.
Okay, Anti-Stasi, you got your numbers?
10.
Roger that. Armor Finland?
4.
FK?
2.
Scandi Recon?
5.
Ooh, we're gonna see some air assets
Griffin.
today.
4.
Tau?
5.
TK?
2.
TSB?
11.
Zeus Community?
11.
BIA?
3.
1RW?
At 9.
242?
2.
Cadian?
1.
Spearhead?
The heck?
Venator? You there?
He said
two.
2.
Okay, done. And type. Okay, cool. Cheers. Okay, right. Let's have a look. Blue 4 an independent sector attack defend. Blue 4 attacking with a 15% advantage. Okay. Let's get.
All right. That's all the commands updated.
Anti-Stasi on Blue 4. Option for leadership.
Negative.
We're gonna switch up the music as well. I'm gonna do Beast Battle.
On Blue 4.
Excuse me.
Option for leadership.
Negative.
All right, so I've updated the title as well.
on
We're still in the
independent,
triple
option for
digits. It's
leadership.
100 plus.
We're taking it.
But chat, how are you doing? Burnside
Good lads.
Games, thank you for continuing your sub from Modadix. I hope you keep enjoying the offs. I hope you keep enjoying those CCOs. I hope you keep getting a kick out of Friday Night Fights and the Zeus offs, watching and or playing should you choose to. And I hope you are staying safe from COVID-19. Thank you so much.
13th on Blue 4. Option for leadership.
All right, Holy Crusader, Liru, hi. Wanted to say thanks for streaming many good battles in Spectator View. I wonder how large a vehicle pool of mods you
29th,
use.
independent.
I watched several battles and it looks like most vehicles are quite old generation, 60s,
Second
70s.
MLB,
Okay,
Independent.
so I have never made a mission for Friday Night. Well, okay, that's a lie. I've made a few
AA,
missions for Friday Night
Blue 4.
Fights, but I've never submitted them because there was a roster update and I want to remake them. But they, if you do !FNF
Let's
Holy,
get
they
15th,
have a page
independent.
that has their Discord. Their Discord has a HTML which you can
Blue
load
4.
to see their mod set, and that's how you can
Scandi
check what
Recon, Blue
mods they
4.
use. But it's mainly been RHS vehicles.
FK
Um,
Independent.
It's really just been RHS and vanilla vehicles, but
Griffin,
usually you don't want to use vanilla
independent.
vehicles because they're pretty OP compared to RHS stuff. Vanilla is
Tau,
always OP
Blue
on
4,
itself. So if you want to know what mod sets I specifically use for
TK,
Zeus
Independent.
Ops, then that would just be !Discord, and then we have an HTML
BIA,
page
Independent.
in a Discords tab that in a mod sets tab, excuse me, that has all
Blue
those
4.
mod sets. But if you're looking specifically for FNF stuff, then do !FNF and then look in their Discord, and they'll have a little HTML you can load to look at all their mods. But it's mainly been RHS stuff for the BTRs especially. But the it is literally the mission maker's choice. Again, none of the ones I've streamed have been ones I have personally made.
Nice.
So I can't give you any answers of why things were made the certain way they were, but everything has been fairly balanced, with the exception of a handful. For example, the Sharpur one that we saw a few weeks ago. That one was a little biased to the defender's favor because Blue 4 had to move through a shit ton of open area, but
and then as
still,
soon as you're slotted, I can
it's a good mix of things. But
lovely Centaurians.
that 7 seconds though, that was closer than last week's first NA round. That one had like a 30-second gap. This one, definitely new record for closest one I've seen.
Dingo, where'd you put 13th again?
Have you ever thought about doing a Jormagon style convoy op from the convoy episode? So I actually, I'm not that much of a weeb personally. Bloodwing is definitely the weeb in the family.
Fantastic. That's a beautiful
I would say.
science.
But
Right.
I do know
Let's start
Jormagon.
slotting in Arcadians. Remember,
Loved
if
watching
you
that
are
one. Had to
in
convince her to
a
watch it.
Arcadian centre,
The issue with that
if you are in a
convoy though
team,
would
and I
be
say your name and slot you
I don't really
somewhere,
have anything
don't
for
worry
them to
about it, get
fight.
to where you
know, there's no
should be.
dragons mod.
I'm
There's
just gonna
no
go for anyone who's great. I'm going to allocate them a place.
there are
So if
melee
you are
mods, but
Centaur, go to where I now tell you.
I don't think there'd be any way for me to
Riot, Blue 4,
do an op like that. Like, I'd love to, but I wouldn't be able to. Have you ever considered doing Arma as a VTuber? Yes, that is an end goal project we might see by 2021. More on that later, but there's a lot of other stuff I want to overhaul first. And also, Notre Bell, thank you for the 25 bits, and I will do my best to keep up the work.
Blue 4,
Iceberg, I'm not lying. Really, the only animes I watch, I mean, fuck. Jormagon, Spice and Wolf,
Independent,
The Misfitted Demon Academy,
Harry Ord, Blue 4,
Higurashi, and I want to see the new season
Misu,
with Bloodwing. A
Blue
little bit of
4,
Code Geass.
Oddball, Independent.
Monster Musume Uncensored, because I was with friends. And
Slotting.
I don't really remember any others. I don't really watch that much weeb stuff. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Gate? Oh, you're right. I'm an idiot. Yes. No, you're exactly right. I am thinking of Gate. Fuck. See, the few I've seen, I get confused with. Gormagon is the Gundam one. Yes, you are absolutely right. God, I know that one too. Fuck. Okay, mech stuff in Arma is also very difficult.
Oh, Roger. My apologies.
Jormagun's, isn't that the PMC one with the crazy chick that leads everything that really reminds me of an old friend of mine? Which is why I have quote 1 on this channel. Is it quote 1?
And Koak.
No, that's my ex. Wrong crazy chick. It's quote 2. Yes, it is quote 2. We don't talk about that chick.
Yeah, Independent.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Can I switch
I got some really nasty chills when I saw that. But anyway, that's...
I have friend there.
There's no 69. I'm sorry, Iceberg. Also, there's no space in the numbers, but...
Thank you.
You're taking away my advantage, man.
I remember, we watched half of Jormagon,
It's
but...
just fun trying to mentally work out 15% of 47.
Bloodwing didn't like it, so we stopped watching it. Again, I don't really watch anime shit by myself, but...
That'll do, donkey.
Yeah, if I look back, sure, maybe.
Exactly, I think it's
there is an op I'm working on
at the minute, and
that's going to be Purge election year related, but it's not going to be run in TSB. It's going to be run somewhere else.
Okay, Koak, you able to slot?
Because I need a small group of people.
Also, Wheaton, are you all good? Also waiting for those two. Twicking, you have a minute on the clock.
Righto, Holy, that's cool, man. Dude, I always appreciate mod developers and stuff, man.
I would love for someone to
awesome,
get on
man.
Charlie 2. That is our missile specialist. We don't have anyone. If nobody does it, Pierce, I might have to break up your Delta team that you have there.
Hats off to you. That's something I could never do personally, especially 3D modeling.
That's always
I suck
helpful.
at it.
Besides that, I don't know if we actually need people to
40K
drive
mission
on the
is
vehicles.
done. I just need to test it. We'll see it in play next Sunday. So not tomorrow, the week after that at 8 p.m.
I don't think we need an
Eastern
air
Standard.
detachment, or I guess we could use a detachment leader, but Yeah, so that's Delta and Echo team. If you guys can take that Charlie missile team, and that marksman, I would appreciate it. Just
so it's Striker as the independent commander and Twig Kane on the Blue Fork command. Interesting.
Hey, Riot, why don't you come up or go down a squad to Echo?
Barb usually co-hosts NA Iceberg, but this week he has a work emergency, so he's not going to be able to co-host with me today.
You have a minute on
He
the clock.
let me know about that about a week and a half ago. I live in the Northern Virginia area.
Second platoon HQ.
Where'd you get Texas
Delta
from?
One's there.
Do I even sound like I live in Texas?
Can I get a Suntech team leader?
I don't sound southern enough for that.
Oh yeah, good call.
And I may just
I'm really curious to see how that thing works. But that Gao 19 can take out anything in this roster. But I'll be curious to see what if the mat gun for independent is an Igla.
Someone in Fox, want to jump up?
Because otherwise it's going to be really up to those static HMGs to give air cover here. Because that Gao is going to be very, very deadly.
So both platoon leaders happy?
Yep.
In the yes.
Before we move on, for Blue Fort, are you absolutely sure you don't want like me or Dingo to hop down in any of those armor vehicles?
Those are Hummers.
Oh, they are? I thought they were heavy armor.
No.
Humvees.
Yeah, that's a Humvee designation.
Nothing heavy, from what I see.
M2s.
Roger that. Okay, let's go to our briefing. Well done everyone that last round. That was a good tight game.
On the bottom left, I always love getting in on that.
Lots of noise and excitement coming from the spectators, so I'm glad you're all having fun.
We got you good in that one.
Well, I was throwing grenades blind to
Hey, is anyone in here? Yeah, I'm in it. Metis got goes through the window.
But anyway, yeah, good effort everyone. Obviously with this new command structure it is going to take some getting used to, but well done to everyone who's adapting to it and getting it sorted. I know it's a lot coming in through your ears, but hopefully we'll find a nice pattern with it. And well done for, I think there are a couple of instances where things weren't quite going to plan, but I think after it got explained clearly,
15-minute game time for this one. 15-minute setup, view distance, stuck at 650 meters. All right.
So well done,
sector control, attack, defend 1 to 2 to 3. So it's going to be a layered defense in Berzino.
I wonder what the objective is.
Oh my god.
No.
All right, I'm going to go down to my casting couch channel because that had all the information I needed. So, guys, this is going to be an area sector control. If you notice, this sector is highlighted while the other two are perfectly marked. This means that Blue 4 can only attack Sector 1 first before hitting the other two sectors, which means Op 4 can do a stage defense. They can forget a sector and just do 1 and 3. There's a lot of different ways to make this play through, but this is the market area of Berzino for Sector 1. Sector 2, this is a little urban area right here. I forget which one of these buildings you can go in, but it's Shannars 2020, which means some of these buildings should be enterable because they replaced with the Livonia assets. And then Sector 3 is the northern sign of Kelm here, so I'd assume that some of those buildings are also enterable. Now, Blue 4 cannot take the zones until all of the independent guys are dead or unconscious, or they leave the zone. So this will be interesting to see. Usually when I have 3 objectives, my personal strategy would be to forego one of those areas and just hold out with the other 2, but we'll see what the independent commander decides to do. And with Blue 4, I mean, this is pretty simple. It's just, go down Main Street. They could also do a small flank around and go down this MSR as well, but honestly, Main Street gets them right on the edge of town, and independent can't fortify that edge of town because it's right on the corner. So they'll have to rush units up there, but I think this is pretty cut and dry. But I would love to see what they're able to do to defend Sector 2. But I also love how the sectors are kind of like in the side areas, so their independent force doesn't have a lot of room to kind of set up wave tier defenses of this area. But you also got to be careful not to get caught out of position in these big open areas around Berzino, because that is where you can easily get picked off. And I can't wait. All right, P&J. Oh god, it's a night op. It's a fucking night op. Is it? Or was I just in the water? Okay, thank God. Oh God, night ops scare the shit out of me. Because the last night op that happened, it was flashlights versus NVGs, and I can assure you that that was a very messy operation. Why'd I hear Iceberg? Iceberg, what are you doing here? Go support TSB. Go support TSB. How are you doing?
Oh God, I hear two of you.
I know. Are you stream sniping? Iceberg, that's against the rules. That's a 7-day.
I'm stream sniping, yes.
Oh, that is a 7-day. Where are you? I am going to get you reported right now.
In the tail gunner seat of the helicopter. Being
I see.
Absolutely useless.
Ah, yes. Classic. Oh, there actually is a tail gun today. Excellent.
Yep, boy. I can't wait to see that thing try and dogfight.
Fucking
Cow 19.
Cow 19 12.7 minigun. Oh, that's gonna be messy.
Hey, on the plus side, I mean, the only saving grace for the MI8 is it carries more ammo than the Cow 19.
True, but that Cow 19 is gonna be very easily able to pick off that helicopter.
Larry saved you, by the way. I was gonna play the Doot, but he said don't do the Doot.
Don't do the Doot. The Doot is bad.
Doot.
The Doot makes me mad. It is spooky. It's a spooky month, but can't do the Doot. Not yet. Looks like we got basic U.S. forces with Slushy's silly avatar that can make him seen a mile away. And we're fighting Green 4, which appears to be, I want to say, a Cherno Russian force with, 7 4s instead of that SA-58 stuff, so interesting.
God, although it appears everyone's able to take some sort of zoom-enhanced optic.
Yep, I'm seeing PSOs getting put down on some of the AKs, but the US guys, I mean, they're going to be able to get those really nice 230Ms and LKMs and everything. So that kind of nullifies the need for the marksman, but at the same time, I mean, that is a nice little op I'd love to play. I love I love these ones. Yeah, some people are still gonna stick with what they know, so that's always appreciative. Well, let's look at these individual sectors here. So Sector 1 is, I don't see anything spruced up with it. The big buildings are still cereal boxes, but there's nothing interesting that has been touched up on the supermarket, so that's A-okay. But again, a lot of these buildings are going to be enterable now because Chernarus 2020 is pretty much just all the buildings replaced with lithium assets. Let's look at Sector 2 here. This is the one I'm really curious about because this is an industrial zone. And the building is fully enterable. Oh, yeah. So that's going to be a fun one to do. Both big buildings are fully enterable in the sector. So that is definitely going to be an interesting op there. We're going to...
Was this,
That's actually extended.
why can't I think of the word? Consecutive? Whatever it's called?
Yeah, so I have to take Sector 1 first and Sector 2 and Sector 3.
Oh, boy.
And then Sector 3 has a fully enterable build. Actually, no, this one's only partially enterable in the center, but then, yeah, a bunch of civilian buildings there as well. But, yeah, I mean... This is going to just be another op where it's going to fall more so to the PvP rather than OP assets like last time, even though both sides kind of messed up, I will say. But well, that's the previous op. We're now in the next op, so... Curious to see how the MI8's used. I'll be curious to see how the GAU 19 is used. And I'll be curious to see if the pilots field anyone. Geez, there's like a shit ton of pilots and co-pilot. Why are there so many people doing pilot roles for Blue 4?
3 helicopters, and each of those helicopters also have an OP as shit camera on it. Why wouldn't you put everyone in them?
Because honestly, you don't need... I don't know. I think that's a little bit of a squander. I can see one of the co-pilots being used for the transport Vics for recon. I can see one of the co-pilots being used for the GAU 19 Vic in case, you know, the pilot gets shot. But all of them? Really? It's quite a bit.
Down 19 is going to be their greatest asset, though. They got
Definitely
2 gun trucks and an Mi-8 to take care of. And that thing only holds around 5
Everyone's
or 600
a pilot.
rounds, I think, and it burns through that ammo quick, so. Although when it hits hard.
Well, you're stuck in Remy's shadow. Oh, that's funny. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'd be curious to see if Blue 4 is either going to go up the MSR or they're going to use helicopters to field in forces close. Because again, with how the sectors are made, Green 4 doesn't get a lot of leeway to do full 360 fortifications. Sector 3 they can do a lot with. Sector 2 can also be done with a lot because most of that compound's included. But Sector 1 being on the northern edge of the main town of Berzino, that's going to be an interesting one. So I'll be curious to see how Independent divides their forces and where they decide to make their stands here. But I'm also curious to see where Blue 4 deploys itself with its 15% numbers advantage.
I didn't catch it. What is the number advantage? 20%?
15, I believe.
Okay, that looks.
At least that's what I was told during the brief. But we'll see how things go.
Well, Green's deploying a few dudes already. They're just.
Yeah, right. Oh well. Enjoy D&D.
Yeah,
I would hope people know what D&D means. Unless it's do not disturb and you're going to go do something frisky with someone. Wink. Take pictures. Alright, so I do love what Independent is doing, though, despite the AO that they've been given. It looks like they are trying to make some fortifications on Sector 1. They're going to probably do a big holdout here. I mean, that's a good call because it's a nice urban environment to work with. But being downhill here could bite them in the butt a little bit. My opinion, though, the best AO to defend would probably be Sector 2 because it's literally a compound with a shit ton of open areas around it. You could build some fortifications to basically tower over the perimeter wall and catch people out in the open. And then there's just so many places you can hide people to converge on Blue 4 when they eventually breach in to just make that AO hell. But it looks like Independent instead is going to go balls to the wall here and only go with the first sector, really. You know, I'd be willing to bet Independent, they're going to get a... do you see on the southern side of the Berzino, do you see the private first class Bedovanich? I'm bad at names.
Can you try pronouncing that one more time?
Yeah, so he was right next to the T-34, and I think he put some explosive charges on it. So maybe he's going to try to blow up the statue to get the T-34 to use it against the bad guys. Am I right or am I right?
Sure, let's go with that logic. Why not?
Alright, I got another POV
Definitely wasn't all
here.
tapped out, just, trying to find music or anything.
Totally. Got another POV here for the multi guys. It's gonna be one of the pilots. Also, I didn't check to see who was still streaming, who's not streaming. Actually, I have a second. I can do that right now. So if you hear a bunch of voices, I'm sorry. That's me just trying to load up the multi here to pick off who is not streaming round 2. So give me just a second. That's gonna literally murder my bandwidth. My bit rate might get a little chunky here as I load. Geez, 15 POVs. That's interesting. All right, so Wheaton, it says he's offline, and everyone else is in there though. Okay, so let me write out Wheaton's.
Okay.
And that should be good.
They have anyone in
right. That should be updated. Cool.
Aside from the door.
All right, Bad Wolf, we'll see you for NA unless you make it quicker, make it back quicker from the grocery store. If you find turkey legs or artichokes, that's what I need, Bad Wolf. So I'd appreciate it. Did I Scarif Barbarian? No, he usually only commentates NA, but he's not commentating this week because he told me a week and a half ago he had a work thing come up.
Did Liru die? Quite possibly.
No, you can't use that T-34. Sorry, I was talking with chat and fixing my multi-twitch.
I should send you my link because I'm actually doing it right now.
Oh, send it to me. I'll add you to mine and then I'll send you the whole multi, okay?
Yeah, I don't have the multi-link working in my shit because I broke all of my settings and have to redo them. Fun times, right?
Yep. All right. Iceberg.
Of course, I'm playing copyrighted music as well, but you know.
Amazing.
Who cares?
We're gonna do Bentusi battle. I'm feeling that better. It's always a classic to play Bentusi battle.
I want to see a clutch RPG shot shoot down a helicopter this round. That's all I'm saying.
I'll give you $20 if that's made. I don't think we might see a clutch shot on a vehicle, ground-based Vic, but no way in hell are they gonna hit a little bird with a fucking RPG. No way. Unless it's like landing, but
We've
like
seen crazier things.
I agree, but there's no way in hell they're gonna make an RPG shot on a mobile little bird. Maybe if it goes into land, I could see it, but not here. No way. No way. I will believe in 21 kill streaks and the clutching and squandering of vehicles, but I will not believe in RPG shots shooting down helicopters. Not here. Not ever. Unless I am proven otherwise. Oh, by the way, the Matt team... Oh, no, never mind. That's RHS Carl Gustav. I could have sworn I saw the vanilla scope on. I'm like, what the fuck? They changed it? They changed it. But no, so Matt team for Blue 4 has that... Carl Gustav, and I actually don't see a Matt team for Independent. I don't see a Charlie 2. Hold up, wait, nope, they're in the Vic. All right, they're with Platoon. One of them got out. I'm trying to see what that other Matt team weapon is, but they're still in the Vic, so I guess we'll check back in a second. I'd be willing to bet an RPG 42, maybe an Igla.
With the amount of helicopters they'd have, I'd hope it's an Igla.
We'll see. Do I think Homeworld 3 will be any good? I fucking hope so. But I'm biased.
Appear to be
I want it to be more like Homeworld 1 than Homeworld 2. I fucking hated Homeworld 2.
West.
Like,
I guess spot for the helicopters pushing around? I'm not sure. Since everything's just... That works. Since everything is sequential.
Mm-hmm.
Doing a heli flank to the rear won't be that helpful if they deploy most of their forces back there and they still have to get to Sector 1. So
they could put them at the edge of Berzino because they know that Independent doesn't get that much range to leave the town because they're stuck in that corner. So if they're spooled up and they could get there within 60 seconds and start the fight early. It looks like from their deployments, though, they might forego Sector 2. I think that's a mistake. Because, again, out of all...
With some of that industrial area would be the easiest to defend.
Exactly, and it has its own perimeter, and they could just build fortifications on it to make little kill zones for the open fields. Like, it's...
Especially that giant gray factory building.
Yeah,
you can make that place living hell.
It's a done deal. Well, you got to be careful because the gray factory, it's not really in the AO except, like, the far corner, but that corner is actually blocked by a fuel drum. So... Even then, the other big factory building, like, you could just fortify the interior of this and turn it into a big kill zone, you know? And then there's also the upper floor of it, which you got to climb up to, that you can also do a last stand here in all these extra rooms, you know? So...
I mentioned the giant perimeter wall of the entire compound.
You could put fortifications on the you know, just before the perimeter wall, get on top of that, and then watch these big kill zones coming in, like... That, I feel like, is Independent's biggest squander right now. But with no units over there, I don't think it's going to be used. They're just going to use it to buy time to get back to Sector 3 once they deem Sector 1's lost. And, yeah, I don't know. A little disappointed with that. But looking at the helicopters here, I'm only seeing a marksman team getting mounted up. But the marksman team consists of both marksmen from both platoons. But they're going to ground it in. I think that's... I can see why they do that, but that, again, I would love to see,
I would put both of them there. Oh, and we got... Who is it with the blue mask? In the back of the little birds?
Is he?
Yeah, there's a 3-man team going in, it looks like,
Check, so he's heading away in there. But also, based off the vehicles, looks like they're not going to go down the MSR, they're going to go down the other MSR, and then probably cut north along the left edge. and getting to Bearzino through the other MSR coming in from the west.
They don't have too many
Weird.
bases on the west right now.
What, for Independent? I'd agree. But that's still a little risky because you see there's some cars that are going to deploy, as Independent's probably going to send an early counterattack.
There's an entire squad in the back one of those trucks.
True, but I mean, you got to recall that Independent also have their own helicopter, and if that helicopter spots the convoy going in that direction, you're just going to have them change defenses here. But look at, we might see an early engagement here away from the sectors if both of these forces run into each other.
Alright, so... Like I was assuming, Blue's helicopter.
I haven't played Squadrons yet.
Flank. How wide? Who knows? They're just.
There's a lot of games I want to play, but I don't have the time for because I'm opening up more armor projects. But yeah, like Bad Wolf, I hope it's more Homeworld 1-ish. I
whatever you want to call them.
Put $1,000 down for it. I put all my feedback in.
That's the only dude in
I
Sector 3.
Hope to God it is more Homeworld 1-ish because Homeworld 2 just was too.
No, he is.
It was too generic for a space game. Because the fucking resource points were static. There weren't that many maps that used the full 3D feature of the maps, which granted, neither did Homeworld 1. I was hoping they would improve on that, but the custom games, you know? Alright, so Independent Helicopter has just buzzed the Blue 4 convoy, so they should be getting a good idea of where Blue 4 is going to come in from. I'm also kind of shocked that they're using they're having the armed helicopter go with all the other helicopters here. I don't get it, you know? Like, if they would have just had that overwatch the convoy, because you would have predicted that Green 4 would probably use that helicopter to go scout the convoy out. That would have been an early way to easily get the kill in.
So Green's first platoon is...
Op 4 doing a little bit of, Independent doing a little bit of an early dismount, but Blue 4 pulling a little trick play on me, actually. They're dismounted from the MSR, and some are going directly down the side of the hill early from where Independent forces might predict them going. Oh, and by the way, the MAC gun is an Igla. It is indeed an Igla.
Yep. And then we got...
The marksman group is being deployed in the rear. It was Dingo with that blue mask. Silly Dingo. But they're gonna, I guess, harass Sector 3. Okay. These are some really weird plans, but look at this. We might see some Independent guys catch Blue 4 Vicks out of the open.
I don't think they're gonna hit those vehicles as they haul ass down that hill.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, they're too far in the thickness of the forest here, out of position. Even though they had intel, they might be able to catch the other 2 Vicks that come by if they move a little closer and wait. But
weapons team they heard the Vicks.
Why did they dismount a fucking Dishka car?
Wait, they dismounted a Dishka car somewhere?
So Independent, if you look in the forest on the far right where those guys are, they have a Dishka car right there. They could have literally just shot up those Vicks, and the little birds just found the MI8.
And, oh god, Green 4, Independent's firing at Independent for a moment.
The armed little bird, though, is way on the northern side. Why are all these forces just out of position here, man?
Judging by what I'm seeing on the map is we got one force flank around to the northwest side of town, other force coming from the south once they're distracted. However, that southern force doesn't realize there's an enemy fire team behind them, so first platoon Independent might be able to do some work once they know who's already past them.
Independent have a lot of their forces out of position here now that a lot of forces are making it by the ambushes Independent was trying to set up. The other Blue 4 group giving its position away as it unloads a lot of ammo into the MI8 to no avail. And we have a little bird flying through, I guess, tracking the MI8 as the armed MI8 is now going to, excuse me, the armed Little Bird is now going to start trying to engage the MI8 there. Because it cannot seem to line up a shot here, but it's getting it close.
They're getting some hits.
I didn't see any damage, no smoke hits.
Just need to get a bit closer.
Yeah, so that MI8 is actually going to be faster than a Little Bird here, but
it's going to be a lot faster.
A lot less maneuverable. So the Little Birds basically have to kind of catch it while it's dedicating itself to a movement here, and then they can get a good strike on it. But we have the main Blue 4 force on the, it's not even the main, it's a pincer movement here. So the northern pincer has dismounted. They're starting to cross the open field into Berezino here. Looks like Op 4 has a good setup on the, what is this? The medical building, the hospital, excuse me. But they just don't have an angle on this massive Blue 4 force coming in. But looks like some of the Blue 4 guys are spotted by T5 Bay on a rooftop with a PKM. And he is now starting to spray ammo over there. So what I need to see Blue 4 do now is pop some smokes and advance. All right, we're starting to see the smoke getting popped out. That's good. But now you're seeing a lot of Blue 4 guys firing back to give some good cover fire. I think I just saw T5 Bay get picked off. Yeah, he got knocked off the roof. Nice. But this is going to pull all the eyes to look at the northern pincer group as the southern pincer starts to close the gap. And they're a little more scary here because they have all the armed vehicles. So I'd love to see this group kind of remount these Vics and just charge in to close that gap. And this would completely catch Independent out of position, especially since Independent, they still have this force on this ambush vector along the western MSR. And there's absolutely no point for it because they already let the force go by.
In other news, they are down one Little Bird, unsure if it was the armed one or not, and the MI8 I can't find anywhere, so it is down as well somewhere.
MI8 appears to be down over by Sector 2. We have some knocked over power lines as well.
Yeah, I saw the Little Bird. That's a Little Bird crash there. Where's the MI8?
So, MI8 is by, hold up. Because I do believe this is important. MI8 is way north of Berezino, just on the outskirts of the rail station. And let me now check the armed Little Bird. I'm going to have to check all these Little Birds individually here, but Mountain and Olaf, whatever they were flying.
That's a big loss.
So the armed one is G-Legs and Nomas, and it is still operational. So I guess they traded, or there was a vehicle ram or something. I don't know, but
some good shots going in out on the top of the hospital. Just insta-killed quite a few of the people on the roof.
Jeez. Meanwhile, Johnson just avoided. There's another Little Bird that's down. I think Johnson got shot down by a UAZ Dishka, but he was able to survive. So both transport Little Birds are down, and it's the armed one that's remaining. So I don't know. The Igla crew hasn't really gotten anything through though, so it's weird. Just a weird dynamic that's been going on. But yeah, you're right. A few bodies on the. I've only seen one body actually on the hospital.
Here's what's confusing me. We got half of that northwestern push from Blue 4 still sitting in the tree line. There's an entire squad. Bravo.
And they're about to be caught out of the open by the UAZ Vic.
Yeah, but Scanny Recon's there. That UAZ is fucked.
You say that. Oh. Never mind. There goes the driver. There goes the gun. There goes the gun. Okay, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, it was Scandy Recon and friends that, okay, never mind. I stand corrected.
That was a massacre.
Wow. That was, if you pull a UAZ Dishka up to Scandy Recon and friends, you're gonna have a bad time. That's what I've learned. And then you have the marksman team just picking off an independent medic scouting out that sector. I think they're trying to set up a back cap here on Sector 3.
Well, what they need to do, I guess they don't know. Uh-oh. Adrahado's in Sector 3. Adrahado also has eyes on them.
Oh dear. Oh dear. So I think Blue 4's plan, he got some hits on Stray Dog there. I think Blue Force plan was to try to get so they still have that group in the tree line by Vic. So maybe as that sector was taken, they were going to load up and push to sector 2 and then have the marksman team go and back cap sector 3. And honestly, with how stretched the independent force is, I might keep saying Op 4 is independent. I use them interchangeably. I'm sorry, but it might just work because there are so many independent guys way out of position here, and I honestly don't understand why.
I think they're trying to intercept a flank like they did. They just didn't get there in
They
time.
just didn't get there, but they watched it drive by. Meanwhile, explosive trap going off. It was ineffective, though. The independent guy, it's Striker. I've seen him command once or twice, but he's not anywhere either. He's kind of on his own watching Sector 2, so he's not there to kind of see how ineffective this is going. Meanwhile, we're seeing the last... Go ahead.
There's an entire team of, or half a squad's worth of dudes of independent just completely out of position.
Also, Hadav is making us look bad. He's blue on bluing, literally Scandi Recon in the tree line that they dismounted. I don't know why the fuck he's doing that. But Little Bird's landing to pick up the one survivor pilot, I guess to field him in or just to chill up there. Independent, I mean, if they maneuver this group and they close the gap, they could also get that UAZ Dishka that they dismounted. Had they not dismounted that UAZ Dishka and they just had it follow the 2 transport trucks coming down, they could have gotten so many kills in. But, you know, this just... every player base likes to dismount the armed Vics when they use them for transport instead of just using them properly. I don't know why. It's silly. But that's going to cost Independent a lot here.
We're seeing some of these 50 cal Humvees being used, so that's...
For Blue 4, because Blue 4 has been using their vehicle assets. Just Green 4 hasn't been fully using all of them, and it shows.
What's confusing me is we have Blue 4 Alpha Squad is digging in, and they're on the attack? What?
I guess they're waiting for the other half of the pincer to close, as well as that next force to come in. They're getting caught out in the open and shot, though. I thought they were...
some nasty hits.
Yeah, I thought these guys are going to be a reserve team, but they're now being pushed in as well. I think Blue 4 is overestimating the amount of independent forces here. But even though they're slow to move in, we are seeing a marksman. Marksman just shot and killed, it was Fred. So Fred just shot and killed one of the 50 cal gunners on top of the Humvees. He could also shoot out the other 50 cal gunner because he's caught in the open right now with the driver being none the wiser. But that's good on Fred to get that kill, at least doing his part to pick off what he can. And now you're hearing the Gao go, but the Igla missed!
That is incredibly lucky. And he hit Oscar with that gun run. Oscar is lucky to be alive.
Yeah, 12.7 shots going in, a lot of blood. It looks like the Igla gunner also got hit once because I'm seeing a blood splatter where he was.
I'm trying to find Fred. Where is he?
Fred is to the right of that group that just got struck towards the west. He's on his own. He's picking off dudes, but we're also seeing the other 50 cal gun getting picked off as well. And one of them still has their driver. They're trying to pull away, so they're nullifying Blue 4's Vic advantages here, which is great. But, I mean, just Blue 4... they're just being a little slow to the draw here. Now, Independent's starting to close the gap because of all the forces they had in reserve to come in, but now Blue 4's coming in with another gun run, potentially.
Take a look at T5 Bay, flanking an entire squad.
I do see that, too. God, so many cool things to look at here. And you're having another Gao 19 strike, but it's ineffective. He's firing at a rock from the looks of it. Miss PIDing that for a body. So more guys on Blue 4's rear getting picked off. That's unfortunate. Meanwhile, T5 Bay getting engaged by that squad, but he's picking off what he can. Double tapping a dead body, make sure it's dead. Not a bad call there. Bay is also... I thought I just saw some blood, but that might have already been there. His legs, his left leg especially, appears to be shot up a bit. But he's keyholing under the walls. And I think he's going to catch the Vincer out in the open right here. So Bay is bleeding a little bit as well.
Come on, Proceed to Vincer.
You're hearing the 50 cals firing backwards as that far independent team's starting to close the gap.
They knocked out the gunner in the 50.
Yep, meanwhile, far north, that marksman team is... Oh, there's the hit from the Igla. Tail rotor's going to be out. I think only the tail rotor, though. I'm not hearing the engine spool down. T5 Bay still playing his dangerous game. Got hit up a few more times. He might be boxed in here. But the northern group, that marksman team, they have one down. As Op4 sent the rest of their forces over there to try to close the gap on that marksman team. So that's interesting enough. T5 Bay letting some smoke build up. He might be able to catch some Blue 4 guys out of position. Using his MG like a rifle. Manages to get another kill. Jack has no idea where to fire. He's actually firing at friendlies.
Oh, Slushy was shooting through the wall and he got team killed.
Yep, he just got team kill, I think, by Stinjin. Yep, so Stinjin has a -1 kill. DeVincer has pushed up in the smoke, being incredibly cautious. T5 Bay's gonna sprint right into him. Oh, and T5 Bay wins the gunfight.
Misu, look to your right. Rosie, what the fuck?
Oh my god, no rear security being pulled, but unfortunately Bay's accuracy had lost itself a little bit. Misu, Prazi, see him going to that animation, going for the double tap. There it is. But wow, that... I mean, again, the power of one person getting in the middle of the line. We saw multiple kills, a friendly fire kill, multiple people shooting at each other, and Blue 4, because they failed to push in, pressing their advantage, they've lost their momentum, and now Independent is starting to turn this fight around.
T5 with 3 confirmed kills this round.
I mean, that's all you need. I mean, he literally stopped the momentum of an entire flank, and the other flank's momentum got slowed down because the gap got closed on him. So I'm not surprised this is going down this way. Meanwhile, it looks like the GAU 19 helicopter is spooling down. It might be out of commission. I think they're trying to see if it's still good, maybe trying to do some field repairs. But that's going to mean 3 of Blue 4's fighters are way out of position. I don't think there's any spare Vics for them to take back at spawn because... Nope, there are a few. So they could still drive back in. They're just going to be in for a little long walk. But looking back at the main fight here...
They're repairing their anti-torque, so they'll at least be able to get it.
Oh, okay, so they can repair. Got it.
I think they're just at the basic engineer, maybe.
I'd assume that Igla has one more round remaining, but... I mean, both sides are taking some pretty heavy casualties here. Independent...
I regret to inform you, but what Igla?
Oh, did he get killed?
Which person had it?
It would be in Charlie 2.
I do not see.
I don't see Charlie 2 either. They were being weird on the roster earlier, but... strange. Meanwhile, Blue 4's far northern flank has been cut down. There's only one guy left at Stanners, but he has been hit a few times. But Op4 isn't any better here. There's only 5 independent guys up. Excuse me, independent. So Stanners, he has a marksman rifle. He could still get a few shots in and some kills. But we have NASA picking up the enemy marksman rifle.
Whatever happened up there, they did almost take quite a large amount of people with them, though.
I mean, that's the trades you want to be making, especially on the side that has more numbers. But we're seeing Blue 4 now starting to close the gap. Is Twig King dead? I saw him push up on his own as command. Nope, he's still alive. He is breaching the hospital building on his own. And he catches Danzer out of position. Danzer breaks out on the right, but... unfortunately goes down. Managed to take out Twig King's legs, though. And you also have members of Scandia Recon starting to breach in as well. That hospital's going to get a little messy. Few patients... Ooh!
Bluck just picked off... who was that? Infidel?
Good shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bluck has a kill. That's a good shot. I mean, it's that headshot, man. It's crazy. But anyway, helicopter back in position here. We have Pierce and company in an M2 Humvee pushing around. UAZ Humvee pushing around to meet him, though. And the gunner of the 50 cal Humvee's down. That Vic could press them and kill them all. So that 12.7 will be able to penetrate in, but it looks like that UAZ is not going to push this advantage. A little bit of a squander if you ask me, but maybe they didn't see that
keep in mind that Dishka has a 50-round mag where that M2
true, has 100 rounds, exactly. So Twig King leading by the front here. Again, they're trying to make sure this building's clear, but I think he just died to Dr. Britt. Or
And
Marco. No, he went back downstairs. Never mind.
We have about a fire team and a half of dudes over here. Just outside of Sector 1 being pinned down by one person.
Meanwhile, Standards was able to get another independent kill on the northern group. Independent, though, were able to get one of their guys that were downed back up, because I believe Gotland's a medic, so we'll be able to rescue another guy potentially. So, again, it's really just the battle for Sector 1 here.
It appears most of the people that were in that Humvee are no longer... Oh, hold on. Let's see if I can...
Yeah, they pulled up the Bluck's position. I guess Ode got out. Bluck probably traded with him. But Independent looks like they're actually going back to remount their vehicles over here. Get that other UAZ Dishka out. Unless it was taken by someone else. I actually can't find their Vix. But they need to pretty much field back into the fight right now, or at least reposition, so they're not squandered. Blue Force still having the numbers advantage here, but Independent, I mean, they've got it tighter. It's really just falling to the PvP here. It's up to Bassbeard and Gastel and Dylan if he comes back into this AO to hold, and we also have Marco out as well, so let's see what happens. Gastel, unfortunately, being caught out of position. Twig King hits him down, and now it is up to Bassbeard, who is camping this one building on his own. RPG just got heard flying out. I think that was actually an AT-4 by Victor Koak. Oh, the little bird hits a tree! And takes out a few more with it, and might have just caused a rage quit. Yeah, so unfortunately, trees kill, I want to say, if I were to pull up the official statistic here, little birds are the number one, trees are the number one cause of little bird deaths every year. So you got to be careful. Got to be careful as a little bird. It's a very risky life because, you know, a tree could just come out of nowhere and destroy you. Or the ground. Iceberg has experience with that. Just ask him about the public op last week.
Hey, I didn't hit a tree. That was prosy.
I said or the ground, okay?
Yeah,
the ground is bad. I mean, you were shot out of the helicopter, though, so you still hit the ground.
Secondary effects.
It's a secondary effect.
My bad. Underlying condition.
So Hadav just watched Twig King run in front of him and took shots at him again. Hadav, that's his second blue-on-blue incident. Also throwing a grenade up there. It was a good throw, not gonna lie, but Pads might catch some shrapnel. He does catch some shrapnel from that. And you just have Bassbeard kind of holding this one den right here as the might of Blue 4 comes in. But Independent looks like they've remounted in the Vix. Not sure what they'll do here.
Bassbeard is a fucking genius.
I do like how he's opened that gate to give himself a little bit of cover.
Exactly.
Oh, he's going to catch one of them out of position. Unfortunately, Twig King knocks the gate down as well.
Twig might wake up.
He could, but that was a lot of shots, and Twig's already been shot up before, so I'm not sure if he got medics. If I was Bassbeard, I would take that Blue 4 gun, and I would just start wrecking havoc. Twig King wakes back up!
He's getting out of there!
And Bassbeard's going, wait a second, where's the body?
And Blue 4 says, no you. And he killed Bassbeard. Or, Twig.
Twig King, but unfortunately goes down after the walls get knocked over and exposed by the rest of Blue 4 in there. So now Blue 4 needs to press the advantage here. If I was Independent, I would remount those vehicles and go speeding to Sector 3 because I'm pretty sure that's what the plan was. Meanwhile, looking back at the north here.
Someone did quite a lot of work up there.
Wow.
There are 3 people remaining out of what? There was 7?
There was about a full squad up there, yeah. There was a squad and then 3 additional guys defending, so those marksmen got a lot of kills in. If I were to quickly look at the platoon roster here...
Right, I have a guest.
Dingo unfortunately died with no kills. Looking at platoon 2, though, I'm trying to find him. I'm blind. Stander's got 5 kills with that marksman rifle. Hot damn. Stray Dog also with 1 kill. So 6 kills between the 3 of them. Not a bad PID to go 2-1 with that. Still have Dylan right here. Not sure if he's AFK. No, he's a marksman just trying to get some licks in. But this close, I mean, I'd be wanna... How do I put this? With units out on the street, especially with that AO captured, you want to be a little more mobile here because these guys are going to try to mobilize and get things going. Time-wise, there's about 25 minutes remaining in this AO, and the UAZs are going to cross into the AO. Masai could probably see this and start mag dumping. What is Independent doing? Vic pushes up, Masai gets off the street, and there's dead people in that vehicle. Driver went down. All of them are down, except that one guy, but he's got, he just got shot in the head multiple times. That was a massive squander of units again! So the only real group of defenders remaining is the 8 people in this truck that are being kept in reserve, and just some stragglers on Independent, but I don't get it. I honestly don't get it here. Master round coming in when Chubb is right next to it. Chubb's still okay, though, thankfully, because gun cars don't really cook off. Dylan's still waiting around back here, but, geez, Independent on both ops have just been really, really overly cautious, and it's shown. Meanwhile, we have Fred, the other Independent marksman, trying to reposition. I think he's running back to maybe find the platoon vehicle he was a part of, because... yeah, I mean, he's not going to be able to do much otherwise. And then Dylan, he's going to find himself out of position as well. I know there's not really any vehicle he could take. He's just camping that building, not really doing much. I do like, though, how Blue Force circumvented most of the defensive fortifications made here, but I guess Dylan could use those transport trucks, but... I don't know. Chat, what do you think? Like, this has been Indy Camp... okay, so again, Blue Force to take these sectors in order. So they have to take Sector 2 next, then Sector 3. But Independent, once a sector's taken, cannot retake the sector. As you see, it has now disappeared from the map. So it's going to be Ground Command. No, Rory is... he was part of Ground Command. He's the 2IC. He's going to camp this objective by itself, so Blue Force can't just run in and cap it. I like that idea. That's going to buy Blue Force Independent a little more time to reposition, but with the big spanking they took from those marksmen being 6 men down, that's going to be a really difficult objective to manage here. Meanwhile, I think Stryker's trying to find a spot to command from the back here, but he is going to have to see some combat soon, because they're going to need every man they can get in that back area. Just looking at the skulls here, we still got some big chunks of Blue 4 here on the roster, including Scandi Recon, again, one of the big squads to watch. Meanwhile, just Independent, look at all of those skulls, man. So, I don't know. If Independent didn't dismount this UAZ Dishka and used it to charge those 2 transport trucks that went down here, they would have been able to rack up so many more kills. And that honestly could have switched the tide, because those 2 trucks were filled to the brim with dudes. So it's just, at that point, you're just trying to hit the frickin' backside of a barn, and your bullet's probably going to hit and kill somebody. So Dylan opting to go on foot, I don't think he's going to see any more use, to be perfectly honest. Not going for a Vic. Fred unable to find his Vic as well. Both Independent marksmen being fielded out of position. Not a good call there. Maybe they'll be able to find some transport, but just with how big this AO is, I mean, it's a click away and then another click away. Smaller than the first AO, sure, but not what you want to see. And we have Independent dismounting back here. I guess they're checking for potentially more Blue 4 back caps, but with how sporadic all the units are, I'm not sure if Stryker has as big of a grasp on the situation than I am leading him on to think he has. Just with, again, how out of position his units are. We have the bias of having the bird's eye view interface. We're able to see everything in real time. We got to remember, these commanders have to actively talk with other guys with radios to get information here. So I don't think Independent knows how dire the situation is, in all honesty. Blue 4, meanwhile, doing a really good job. They know their commander's dead, so they're regrouping down here. They're grabbing their transport trucks, and they're going to make another plane to go in. They still have 3 of their armed Humvees to give them some good fire support, so we'll see what they decide to restructure here. They could definitely leave a Vic or 2 behind to be more consolidated, but at the same time, they could also spread out and lessen the likelihood of one of their Vics getting gunned down, so we'll see. And they also still have the MAC gun by Potato, but Potato just hurt himself running into that car, so that's a big oof right there. Dylan trying to beeline into Sector 2, but I don't see him getting any use here. Oh my god! But Independent has a perfect wedge formation. You see a squad level formation. That isn't a tactical bluff. Wow, okay. Never mind. Independent's totally gonna win, guys. Totally gonna win. Yeah, no, these... I don't see these marks. Maybe Fred will find one of those transport trucks and go through. Maybe he'll catch Dylan. But I don't know. Like, Blue 4 just seems to be a lot more organized than Independent right now. And sure, that's going to let them all get slowed down instead of units just blindly going willy-nilly inside. But just with how everything is, these guys need to be going to Sector 3 and setting up a defensive perimeter. Because they can still win it to time if they put up a good fight. But if they go out and about in a random area, they could be circumvented. Blue 4 reorganized and is attacking Sector 2. Independent still seems to be a bit of a mess here. And I don't really see how Independent's going to be able to get this one, but they at least have a squad that was doing a really good wedge formation in their maneuvering, so you win some, you lose some. I like Royd right here, though, with AT.
Couple of Green 4 dudes who got left who are the only survivors of Sector 1.
It's both the marksmen, but they're trying to walk back, but Blue 4 is about to just...
Fred ditched his marksman rifle.
Did he? What'd he grab?
GP25 AK. Or 74th, the grenade launcher, and then we got one dude
I would have grabbed a
Sector
frickin'
2.
Blue 4 AK. Yeah, so that's Rory, who's the 2IC for, Stewig. Also, I love the how the power lines are knocked up next to this AO to show that one of the helicopters hit that.
That is a helicopter's worst nightmare. Not trees, power lines.
Yeah, because they can't be seen. You like that, you formation slut.
It's too late.
Mm-hmm. So Blue 4 is starting to get into the AO, not officially in the sector yet. They're instead breaching and clearing buildings. If I was Blue 4, I'd suspect something's up. With the amount of guys they fought, I would still think Independent has forces in reserve to possibly set up an ambush on Sector 2. There's also the possibility that there is an explosive trap. I don't think there actually is, but there is that possibility. I don't know what they're shooting that 50 out. I think they missed PID'd the other 50 cal Vic pushing in, thinking that was enemy. But this, I mean, this would be perfect for an explosive trap in the bigger buildings.
Pads, how do you deal with this? By getting shot in the fucking face.
That's how. So, I mean, weapon PID-wise, now Blue 4 knows where the bad guys are.
Bad frag! 2 of them!
Amazing. And Rory getting caught out of the open because he bad fragged. Shot up a little bit. His arms are down. Nemesis, though. Nemesis is hungry. Nemesis smells blood. He sees an open door. He runs in. And Nemesis pulled away? Nemesis!
Yanni died?
Yes, okay, so Nemesis just went out the window and still got the kill. But I guess he had an issue with Yanni being alive and decided to fix it.
Yanni woke back up and now he's down again, though.
Yeah, it's the wake up, immediate knockout thing where it calculates.
He got up and walked a few steps.
Oh, he tripped. But anyway, there's Sector 2 down. We're gonna have the 15-minute warning called in about a minute, but again, we have like the main bulk of Independent forces just completely out of position here. There's only 3 guys on defense. We got Royd trying to camp the MSR coming into the AO, at least considering Sector 3. He's got AT though, he could get a snipe in, but if I was Blue 4, I would not be taking the MSRs into AOs at this point.
No, but there's a decent, what is this, an 8-man team?
Yeah, the Independent one, but I think they're lost because they've just been there for like the past 5 minutes after they dismounted.
They definitely do need to pull back in.
if you track the SSR, excuse me, the MSR of this AO specifically, all the way to the west, where those two buildings are, you'll see just behind, like I want to say 20 meters, like in the forest, is their transport truck. So they just mounted hella early, and they've just been walking around everywhere. So I hope they pull back. We see Dylan starting to try to get into this AO. It looks like he's trying to find a good position to get on top of a building to do Overwatch on. But I think by the time he sets up, it's going to be a little too late. There's the 15-minute warning marker. Dylan trying to crawl out from under the wall. But again, Blue 4 is going to already be getting out of this AO. Now I'll be curious to see where Blue 4 goes, or are they going to form up again like they did the previous AO and make a plan? They have to expect that this next AO is going to be well fortified, so they're not going to do something balls to the wall. They're probably going to dismount somewhere in a forested area outside of this AO and then push in on foot using the 50 cal Vicks as cover. God, I feel so bad for Dylan. He just cannot seem to get on top of something, because if he did, he could have some pretty perfect marksman shots here.
I'm curious to see how they put their captured Blue 4 marksman rifles to use.
True, true.
But I only see one of them. Where's the second rifle?
So you have Fred blind firing with his AK-74 into the next AO. It was actually pretty accurate, in my opinion.
Come on,
considering
Dylan, you're right there.
Blind as heck. He's just firing in the air at a bird. But Dylan, unfortunately, isn't going to get close enough. He is going to be able to get a Blue 4 Vic, though. Maybe he could go pick up Fred as long as Fred doesn't shoot him. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. So we're seeing some blind marksman shots go up to the command Vic, but that's going to be well armored unless he was going for the gunner. And Dylan... getting some good shots in. Admittedly, he knocks him out.
Gunner.
Nice. It's
Nice
the power
shot.
of that 7.62. Anyway, Independent has they sent a flanking force down the forested area, but they're not going to be utilized. I wonder if Roy's going to get out, try to use this AT here. He has it out. He is watching Vix drive by. What is he going to hit? Nothing, because he decides to turn around. Okay, well,
I think he's expecting one to come up the road here, but...
I don't know why you would think that, though, because that's the last thing Blue 4 would do.
He went out, looked at the road, and was very confused.
He's like, wait, vehicles can drive off the road? I think Royd just learned the meaning of Christmas right there, if you ask me. Like, he was just so enamored with that and just made a massive realization. Now he's charging after the vehicles, realizing his mistake. And I lied. Blue 4 is instead going to balls to the wall this. So 2600 managing to shoot out the gunners of two HMG vehicles. Potato now breaching out. He's going to try to find him. Wombat might hear his footsteps coming, though. Potato decides not to breach out of that area. Chip wakes back up, though, only to be hit by an RPG by Bob Winchester. I do not know why Blue 4 is playing this so balls to the wall. That was not the thing you wanted to do. So Bob just goes down to some stray 50 cal fire because it looks like they changed out the gunner on one of those other 50s to kind of overwatch here. Chup is now a Chup has ascended. Chup just ascended. Okay, that's interesting. Potato, he's right there. Potato using his invisible bullets to get the kill because he's not getting any gun audio for me. But unfortunately, Wombat says to Potato, Mr. Hacker Man, not today.
He said, vibe check.
Vibe check. And now you got rounds going everywhere. That one fire team that was pushed out is going back in. Dylan did not notice that car over there and instead is going in on foot. He might be a little too late to the party, though.
Oh, no, he's not going to make it there in time.
And Scandy Recon getting shot up in the forest because they're on the high ground. Oddball making them pay for it, popping a lot of good HE rounds up there. Not scoring any kills, though, but definitely doing some good wounding for shock infantry. Wombat, meanwhile, picking up 2600's PKP and putting a PSO sight on that puppy. He might crawl around, try to get some more kills. Independent trying to close the gap on a southern flank, but Blue 4 definitely digging their heels in. Blue 4 just has to kill 3 guys in the sector and they win. 10 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. This could still go either way, in my opinion, if someone on Independent decides to go full Audrey Hotto here. Blue 4, they have time, they can regroup, they can be cautious, they can pick the firing arcs, and I just watched AFHD and Bob trade on Knockout. Wow, Bob made a machine gunner trade. That's really good, but then again, Bob had a marksman rifle, so it's just caliber versus rate of fire.
By tanking GL rounds literally to his chest.
So Independent, that 4-man, actually it was a 5-man push. 3 of them are down. Banana Man getting knocked out as well by Mazai. Mazai got 3 kills right there, and there's still 2 guys left. But yeah, 2 guys left for the cap. Looks like AFHD woke up and killed Bob. Also, Pierce and Wombat traded. And Chup's body is ascending.
Again?
Yeah. And then it just fell. So I guess he wanted to go to heaven, but God said no. Don't you hate it when that happens? Alright, so it's up to Oddball and Lucius here. At this rate, Dylan and Fred, I mean, they are double timing it back. Maybe not. Roy Camper, meanwhile, getting behind the Blue 4 line here. He could catch some Blue 4 guys out of position, but that's not what he wants to be focusing on.
I believe he's trying to steal that M2 Humvee in front of him.
That would be a really good weapon to use, and he's got a really good shot on aim for the balls. He just has to aim for the balls, but aim for the balls, sidestepping, using a Maz round on Dark Belg. But unfortunately shot it over. Meanwhile, Oddball and Lucius getting in a fight. Oddball just shot up someone in the, one of the Humvees with an open doorway.
Dylan is shooting at Royd.
Of course he is.
Got a CQC up in that building right now.
AFHD and Lucid being joined by Nemesis here. Lucid, if they hold that stairwell, I mean, they'll be able to shoot right down into people's faces. I don't get why he's throwing grenades right now, because the doorway's not even open.
Can you see that from there?
I'm watching the doorway right now. I'm waiting for the door to get opened. Royd firing up, just got a double tap on aim for the balls. Is trying to climb into the sector. Nemesis getting dropped because he didn't go guns up, but a grenade Martydron throw. I don't even know what the fuck just happened there. Smoke grenade gets thrown by Oddball. Wrong type of grenade, and there's the sector. Oh, god damn it.
I feel with this amount of people, having it be sequential is very difficult because it either forces you to you have to hard defend one zone. You can't spread out because the attack force is going to overwhelm the first place.
I mean, in my opinion, Independent had the right idea with flanking forces and trying to catch Blue 4 out of position. It just, they
weren't fast enough.
No, they were fast enough. They just stayed deep in the forest instead of going on the edge of the forest and deploying. They didn't have the UAZ Dishka mounted when they could have chased down 2 fully filled Blue 4 trucks of dudes with that Dishka and done significant damage. Like, Independent's plan was solid. Blue 4's plan was solid, but Blue 4 executed better. And that's why Blue 4 won that, in my opinion. Let's go back upstairs.
Friendly fires.
But no, but the enemies went into that doorway. I only shot where the enemies went into.
Enemies.
I threw a
There were enemies in the top. We
instead
were
of a frag.
talking shit to each other. What's the best thing?
Right,
Alright, now we gotta update our commands.
Okay, let's get your numbers. Remember to put your feedback in the EU feedback. Discuss your tactics in the EU tactics channel. It's been a really strong 2 rounds. Let's have a nice strong final round. And everyone start counting your numbers and we'll get ready.
Okay, so the map is Altis.
May I just ask, who was it that decided to take all of the wheels out of the Vigs as we were leaving? That royally fucked me over. All of the wheels were taken out of the vehicle. Like,
that was Blue 4. That was
no. When my awful vehicle, when we're in the setup stage, We were stopped by someone. They took out our vehicles and then they told us to move on. Sorry, they took out our wheels and told us to move on. Why?
Move along. Nothing to see here. These are not the droids you are looking for.
That's the most black market shit I've ever heard
so
of.
much.
We drove over a hill and hit a rock.
For whoever did that, that's a commendable prank. Right, 13th, how many have you got?
1.
15th?
1.
19th?
11.
29th?
6.
2nd? Anti-Stasi?
You know what? We're gonna be chill with this one. I'm gonna do
AA?
5.
We're gonna do M2 fonts for this round.
AF? Armour Finland?
1 or 2, I don't know.
FK?
2.
Scandi Recon?
Our independent has 2
7.
1151s.
Griffin?
We 2.
Say again, a Dalek interrupted you. What was that, Griffin?
We have 2.
So another tank.
Tau?
4.
And a 24.
2.
TSB?
11.
Zeus Community?
11.
BIA?
2.
1RW?
8.
242?
2. 2.
Cadian? Any Cadians still here?
Yeah, those Daleks.
Spearhead?
Spam bots are annoying you?
Spearhead still
Ow.
here?
Sorry you're getting those, man.
Okay. Right.
Did you get FK numbers?
Who, sorry?
I'm gonna check the
FK.
multi, see if
Yeah,
you
you
stop
too,
streaming.
right?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Still have,
the days
let's see,
when FK
4,
used to
8,
be
12, 14,
I miss the
14
days when
POVs.
SK used to bring lots of people.
Well, I'm trying to get that to happen, but they're just not.
Yeah.
FK's dead.
Yeah. FK and Cadian, what's going on, guys?
FK's
Used to
dead.
bring huge numbers.
I'm working on it, Dingo. I'm working on it. Also, we've defended twice. Could we attack, please?
Yeah, sure. Alright, let's
Thanks,
get Cadian.
Okay, let's see. Map Nora, Prozi.
Let's get Cadian.
Alright, let's get Map Nora and Prozi
independent
off.
option for leadership. No, who was that? Who just said they wanted to be? Who was that?
FK. FK has defended
FK
twice.
independent option for leadership.
Alright,
yes.
there we go. A mortar is in play, but there's no
TK.
HE.
Op 4 option for leadership.
Hey,
yes,
I'll
please.
BRB.
Go
I'm
going
going
down,
to
Fred.
go AFK. We can listen to this roster go up. I'm just gonna get more one.
Okay.
Nobody attacks my boyfriend.
Anti-Stasi on independent.
Roger.
AA on independent.
No mas.
Scandi Recon on Op 4.
Hey Greg, you want to join me on
19th on Op 4. TSB on independent. Zeus Community on Op 4. 1RW on Op 4. BIA independent. 242 independent. 29th independent. See how the numbers are looking.
These are some interesting assets.
Let's get Tal
Set up to my next
on
one.
Independent. Griffin on Op4.
Alright. Back in just a second. I know it says
15th on Op4. 13th on Independent. Armour Finland. Let's get you on Op4. Are there any groups left to be assigned other than Centaur?
flipping the light on.
19th.
Yep, so sorry. Want to get some water. Wanted to wash my hands.
Op4.
My bad.
Because
No
being on your
worries at
computer all
all.
day,
I'm
sometimes your
happy to
hands
help.
start feeling weird and they just need a wash.
Okay, everyone's slot up. Let's see how these numbers look.
99
Go from
players. I'm going to stretch it and say 100 because I'm a scam artist.
I think you have set Tau to attack every round. Could we defend?
Sure, okay, if Tau jumps to Op4 and then everyone in Centaur come independent. Let's see how those numbers look. Might have to do a little bit of shifting.
No, it's not sweaty hands, it's just...
So every independent player...
I need to clean my keyboard
so
again.
every Centaur member...
I think it's just because, you know, the
independent.
oils of your fingers, they start amassing on the keys and they start amassing on your fingers and... Ew. I don't have sweaty hands. Oh, great. Here we go. You know what? Why'd I even bother?
Might want to fill out second platoon. There's only one bloke in it. For awful.
Okay, we're going to need to shuffle some people across because independent should
Just
have the
forget I
advantage
said
and
anything.
We'll have more, so that's
So I'll be
not
curious
good.
to see where this AO is
Honestly,
done.
Basket
I hope
needs
it's
all the
not
help
on the
he can
top
get.
left where,
Adrahando,
what's it called? Oriel Castro is. So that would be hell for tanks. Probably going to be in a more flatland area.
And Goreski, independent, please.
If I were to guess, probably either the top right peninsula or the bottom right peninsula.
If your name was not said, you want us to swap well for.
That's just my guess, though. We'll see it in a second.
Say again.
Oh wait, never mind.
Roger.
Oh, we'll see how
Okay,
things
we're gonna
go.
need to
We might
chuck
take a
over a
break
couple
between
from
streams. I
Op4.
might start up an Among Us
So,
lobby.
Could I please?
I'm just, let me see, make sure nothing's spam texted me.
Can I get Griffin and Armour Finland to jump across to independent, please? Perfect. Okay. Let's see how we're looking.
Handle DMs.
Lusod, have you been assigned yet?
Yeah, I'm looking for now.
Roger. Okay. That appears to be everyone. Basebeard, you've got a minute, mate.
Wonderful. Right, let's have a look. Delta 1, I'm just going to ask you guys
Well,
just to
probably not
disband and
gonna-
just fill up the machine gun teams.
Probably not
with
going to have a
Foxtrot 1
stream
and 2.
because the staff want to talk to me after this.
Anyone left, just make a
yay.
team lead in the.
I'm going to get banned.
What else
I'm
have
going
we
to get
got?
banned from Friday Night Fights. Let's do it.
Not even going to bother with second platoon. Think this might actually be. All right, Pierce, if you could actually jump down to my second platoon lead, actually, that'd be wonderful.
You want me to take everything in second platoon? Alright.
Yep.
Alright, in that case.
Based on the
can-
timelines, I
might
think he's
be down
asking me if I
to
saw anything sus in
Delta
the
please.
first round. I didn't really see anything sus.
And I think that will be.
I think he
No
might be
more.
referring to how
Actually,
Independent
that's like
found
you
the
said.
Op4 movement, but at the
Apologies.
same time, they did drive like
Okay,
right
Fred,
through it.
you got a
So
minute?
Okay, just want to check. Charlie, there's only one person in it, but it's a two-person slot. Is that alright?
Hey, Charlie 2, can you push down?
Yeah.
Let's
Tell you what, actually, no, I want someone in that
Right,
Charlie
there should
squad
only
lead.
be Fred talking right now, nobody else.
Alright, thank you. Harry, can you see if there is a squad? Tell you what, Harry, am I allowed just to put someone in a position just so they can attach to another squad later? Because there's no roles that I want them to fill. I just want them to be a.
You can grab
rifleman.
Harry up to either first platoon or company command.
Foxtrot 1 is free.
In that case, Harry, go Foxtrot 1. Congrats, you've been promoted. Harry Ord, buddy. Alright,
Yep,
sweet,
sorry.
thank you. Looks like all my other squads are filled. Brilliant. I'm ready to completely destroy Bastard.
Fantastic. Okay, before we go into this last round, before we go into the briefing, thank you very much to everyone to come. Thank you everyone who's come across tonight. Is everyone slotted in? Let's have a look. Yes, they are. Okay, let's load the mission.
Edmund?
What?
N4 first platoon does not have a platoon leader.
Oh no! Anyways.
Someone represent as a platoon leader. Someone step up to the task.
You're the sergeant.
Oh crap. Okay.
Are you
Blame yourself.
Dingo, I didn't say anything because I believed in you.
That's fine. You believe me all you want. It's my radio keys that you got to worry about.
He put his emblem in the bloody description.
But right, hold on. Everyone, shut up. Thank you everyone for coming along.
I saw Liru walking by that body.
Good to see so many numbers coming along. Good to see so many regular
No, it's
faces,
Central
as well as some
Altus.
new ones. Welcome to everyone who is new. I hope you've enjoyed tonight, and I hope you want to come back again. And you're more than welcome to. Remember to put all your feedback in the EU feedback channels and the EU tactics channels. Put all your clips, all your Twitch streams, and all that in the EU media. Let's really boost this up. Let's show the Americans how a Discord should be run.
Gabian and Eander joined in under Scandy Recon.
Straight after, let's jump straight into the team leaders chat.
I'm gonna jump into the casting couch. So, I was being asked if anything from the first round seemed sus. Now that I think about it, understanding Green 4's tactics, I can understand how the independent Vix operated because they drove right through that large group of Op4 and didn't fire a shot. That could be because Independent didn't realize that Op4 was right there. It would have been more sus if Independent knew that group was right there and then drove up and started taking shots. But instead, they didn't fire a shot, probably because they realized Op4 was right there and then just drove by to kind of play it off. So, if anything, doing that makes it less sus.
You were third traitoring hard. Third imposter.
I hate you. So I was just recalling the first round, and I was just asked if anything seemed sus with how Independent found Op4, but now that I think about it, the actions all kind of make sense for it to not be sus. I don't know, just thinking it back. Also, Gabian's here. Gabian and Eander are with Scandy Recon for round 3 here.
Nice.
So we might see them with NA. So I was predicting an AO like this would have been done in one of the 2 peninsulas, but I was wrong.
I could definitely see with these assets this massive open area of the airfield. And
yeah.
That hilltop is gonna suck for no matter what.
By the way, page up and page down, you can increase your render distance up to the limitations of the mission. So if you see it like get yanked back, that's because of the script that runs to limit it back again.
Of course, the first thing I check is loadout on helicopter. All that they get is chin gun.
The chin gun. I would have loved to see some UPK on that Mi-24. The mortar, meanwhile, on top of the HQ. Sorry, go ahead.
I want to see just one pylon with 2 ATGMs for the tanks.
Oh, that would be too OP. Speaking of AGM,
AGMs, but considering
speaking
they
of
have
AGM,
a T-72 with thermals,
but Op4 has a Javelin, which means Blue 4 has a Titan. Excuse me, Independent.
Also have a T-80 somewhere. Supposedly, they said.
Yeah, I don't see where the tank is. Oh, it's in the little. Yep.
So, here's the fun one. Red 4's tank doesn't get thermals, I believe.
Ooh, these are armed gases with grenade launchers.
They skipped this out.
No, you can't tease me like that, Iceberg. The AGS.
You know they don't give that kind of stuff.
I know, but they give fucking thermal tanks and shit.
They might have scripted the thermals off of it, but I know that...
Oh, they probably did. They usually do that.
Definitely standard has thermals. However, they were smart and gave them both tanks where the commander's machine gun does not work.
Amazing.
Actually, I lied.
There's a javelin.
T-80s might work.
So javelin mirror match. Both sides have an Mi-24. Independent have a few more vehicles to field. They got a 117.
Because obviously holding that hilltop is going to be stupid easy.
I didn't realize.
They still need to hold on to the other areas, maybe. I mean, they'll probably turtle on the hill. We'll see.
There we go, and the rest of Op 4's assets there. You know what? You know what this music calls for? You know what this map calls for in terms of music?
We're gonna get to see 2 Heinz dogfighting.
With fucking shin guns.
Hey, those are some powerful ass shin guns. Don't talk shit about them.
So it's a rainy map, which means we play Skyrim rain music for this one. The calm before the storm.
It is worth checking, so...
It's raining in London. When isn't it raining in London? I mean, everyone remembers the Russian Civil War of Altus, except we have more SA-58s from the looks of things on the Green 4 side. Optics are limited, so the red dots, from what I'm seeing, and the, you know, the funny scopes the Russians use. So a lot of mirroring here. This is going to be a pretty even fight. Again, it's going to fall to who has the better 24. Actually, no, the 24 is not going to be useful that much, in my opinion, just because of the fogginess and the chin turret and the javelins. Honestly, with the javelin with an assistant, 1 for the tank, 1 for the 24. And that nullifies both. So really it's going to fall to who has the better mat gunner.
Well, Green 4 has Devenser as an AT gunner, I believe.
That's fair.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, again, I don't think there was anything suspicious there based off of how things happened, but you know, it's the job of the staff to be sus. So
I believe it's nap time, Liru.
What?
It's nap time.
Why is it nap time?
Because it is.
I don't want it to be nap time. There's no nap time. There's Friday night fight time.
No, it's nap time. Go to bed.
The atmosphere is making you sad for the dozens of brave men that are soon about to die. I see it more as the calm before the storm. Oh, I think it is kind of funny that Green 4 has, you know, Russian and
maybe they'll use the Mi-24 to
U.S. equipment.
I doubt it. Too open.
Dude, the rain sounds so fucking heavy and
incredibly loud if you get down
by
to the vehicles.
Oh yeah. Well, not Op4's Vix, but Independence Vix are super fucking loud. I don't know why. Let's see, looking at these caches, so one is in the same command building that the mortar's on top of. The second one, which is in the airport itself, is in the research building of this small little outpost here. And then the third one is on the other corresponding military base. But it looks like they've added a few things, such as a big battle tower. To both AOs, actually. At least on the airfield. I don't really see much has been messed with on the other position. But yeah, we'll see what goes on. The fogginess is going to make it a little harder for those helicopters to spot things, but not by much. And I'll be curious to see where the Javelin rounds go in this entirety of the AO. Getting flashbacks to CCO? Don't you remind me, going. Don't you remind me. I don't know. I mean, with this AO, there's a lot of ways for independent to set things up, but the max render distance means that it's going to be really difficult for both the bases to be spotted with each other.
It's not scripted out, probably is, but the T-80 does have a Commander MG.
Interesting.
I saw him toggle the sights on it, which is pretty cool. But I'm guessing they're gonna go station somewhere in the, I don't know how did Royd Camper get over, oh, he took a gas. But I'm guessing the tank's gonna go station somewhere in the airfield area and just make sure nothing bum rushes across the runways or any of that kind of crap.
Well, look at the runways. It's very foggy down here. Yeah, like, so this is gonna be some really interesting warfare. If I was the tank on this, I would, I'd get somewhere high, not on top of the objective, but I would try to use one of these far hills, because just the sheer amount of area that's utilized here, there is a lot of hills around Altus where a tank can go to get a good amount of overwatch here, but they have to be high hills, because otherwise they don't penetrate through this fog. Royd, meanwhile, I'm curious what he's doing down by this cache. He is a demo expert. I'm willing to bet he put some demo down.
I haven't seen him place any yet, but I'll take a look.
He's leaving this AO now. Yeah, so the demo, if you look at the building, so look at the cache, and then leave that door, and then look north, and then look behind the little ledge to the left of the door on the northwestern side. That's a beautiful explosive position.
That'll bring down the whole building.
Mm-hmm. The risk, though, with doing that on explosive caches, though, is if you are not close to watch it, you're probably going to not catch them in time, because usually what happens is when the a faction finds an empty cache, they just have the explosive expert go in there, place charges, leave, and then they blow it up while everyone's safely outside the area, which at that point would nullify the charge Royd puts down. If he's relying on the pop-up he would get when that cache goes away. So he would have to be close in order to identify the right time to demo that demo the charge. Interesting enough, we also have Stanners in an unarmed Gaz with a marksman rifle ready to drive out here on the edge. I'm willing to bet he's probably going to push up to the military base south of Laka and try to get on the tower to watch the independent force come in. That would not be a bad call, because getting that recon data to know where Green 4 is going to go is going to really help Op4 decide where to push. Meanwhile, the Op4 tank is going to the northernmost corner. I'm willing to bet they're going to try to go up on Hill 68 or 58 on the outskirts, eastern outskirts of Etheria. To try to do some overwatch on the farthest cache away. It's going to get a little foggy there. I'd be curious to see what type of ammunition they have in those tanks as well. 72s and 80s, they can have HE, HEAT, AP, and AGM. Or it's not AGM, but it's, you know, the rock missile. It is, yeah, it's ATGM, that's it.
Anti-tank guided missile.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it is worth stating, it's probably not modeled properly, but let me double check before I open my mouth. Yeah, T-72 is better armor.
There's a little bit of plating on it. This AO is really good for a tank for a long-range engagement, but a combination of the fog and the render distance I'm getting here is gonna heavily nullify that, unfortunately. So I'm not sure if that tank's gonna be 100% effective going in the back and trying to get some snipes. If anything, I would probably play it a little closer, but again, we have the limit of the bird's eye view interface. I don't think anyone's gone down to just see how thick the fog is. I think the tank is realizing how thick it is as it stays in Etheria, but I don't know. This op could go either way. Yep.
I mean, it's highly unlikely, but there's still a possibility of friendly fire on the tanks.
Very true. I'm not gonna lie though, again, we have the bias to see that the T-72
has that plate arm, or has the applique package on it, but at the same time.
Yep, but I mean, through the fog on thermals, it's gonna be tough, but it's a possibility. Yeah, at range on a thermal camera. Because the Titans can only lock on thermals, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So that is a possibility.
Both javelins and not Titans.
Both teams have javelins. They don't get an option for Titan or javelin. It's something given to them. The only choices they have are scopes. But that's not of the javelin, it's of the guns.
Explosives
at the other cache. All right, let's find it.
But I don't know where. He also left one of the doors open, so they know someone was there. If you know, they think about it. It's one of the things that
I know Nemesis is the type to think about it. I'm looking for this other explosive trap. Where is it?
Cache and look direct northwest and go into the tiny room.
Yep, in that corner.
In the corner.
Not bad positions, but I don't think they're gonna work too well.
Does that mean they're gonna turtle up there in the first position?
I think they're gonna turtle up on the hill, which, not gonna lie, is not a bad AO to turtle up on, because Green 4 doesn't really have any artillery that would easily defeat that position, you know? They just have vehicles and a lot of open ground to cover. So if anything, I would have kept the tank up there, but maybe they put the tank up on the north in reserve, and after they PID the angle that Green 4 is going to go up there, because that tank is in between the two airbase caches and that position, so maybe they'll have the tank try to get in close to the enemy forces and shoot them out. But, you know, that's also why they have standards when they're marksmen in a car ready to go south. They're gonna try to scout these guys out.
Green is taking an interesting mix of vehicles. They have 7, 8, 10 Humvees.
That's a good call though. That's a good call because they're fighting a tank, and if the tank were to go offensive, if the tank has 3 vehicles filled with guys to shoot at versus 12 vehicles with less guys. It's
in one basket.
Exactly. It makes better survivability rates for the guys transporting in. And I mean, there was an ambush in the first AO, even though it wasn't from the tank. I wish it was, but it can dish a lot of damage. But still, it's going to rely on the individual PvP of the players here to win the fight. But yeah, Op4's. Yep.
Independent's hind pilot G-Legs is one of the better pilots that I've seen in FNF. He knows his way around the hind for sure, so this will be an interesting one with that for sure.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't think pilot skill is going to be a noteworthy factor this one because they're fighting against javelins. Maybe if the hinds go head-to-head, but the 7.62 on the hind
That's a 12.7.
On the chin gun?
Yeah, that's a 50 cal, my dude. It's 12.7 Yak B cannon.
I've had this conversation before. God damn
Trust me, my dude.
Okay.
I know this shit.
Okay.
It's my favorite variant of the hind that they're getting to use is the V's. Because that gun is good for close-in support.
That's fair. Alright, either way, I mean, it can penetrate into each other, but I don't know. So anyway, convoy's going in. Sanders, as I predicted, going right up to that military base, but he does have some TSB members going up to this military base as well, so that's probably going to be where first contact is. But that convoy balls into the wall. Same to the, it's going to the airfield. So TSB doing the quick dismount, being a little cautious. Standards dismounting right on the outskirts here. Yeah, it is 12.7. I know, we've had this conversation before.
Standards is able to knock out the MAT team this early.
Oh my god, it is Green 4's fucking MAT team. Standards running for the battle tower. Let's see if he sees him while he's going upstairs.
No, but he's glitched under the stairs for me. There he goes.
That's amazing.
All he has to do is kill Devenser. That's it.
Dude.
Pop Devenser will...
Is he gonna... Oh, wait, he looked down, but he didn't look right! He looked down, but he didn't look right!
I need to turn your volume down. Holy shit.
He looked down again. He didn't see him. Oh my god. He'd have some perfect shots. He's looking out to green 4 spawn now. He has no idea. Oh, baby. I mean, if I was him, I wouldn't check there either, but this is funny. So green 4 are doing the rush to the airfields first, using that fog cover. Very smart on them.
Oh, no. Defensor's going up into the battle tower.
Oh, no. But Standard's going to hear him coming. Standard's now looking out. I think he might have just seen Risen right there. But if he listens... Oh, Defensor's moving to that position.
Standards definitely knows that they're...
Yep, he knows they're here now.
Right, what's going on? We got one of the Mi-24s headed to outer space.
Op 4 Mi-24 might spot this independent convoy coming in.
I think they're too high.
With how tan those vehicles are, I think he should totally see them.
They're first person locked, remember that.
I know, but the chin gun should be, you're right, maybe. But, you know, I wanna see it. Yeah, green 4 hasn't noticed the gas right there either, so they don't know that Sanders is over here. Yeah, so Mi-24, I think, just missed the convoy. Meanwhile, the green 4 Mi-24 also flying around.
Yeah, but they're staying low and fast as hell. However, they're going to fly right by where the tank is, and if they have that engine off, like they do, they might be able to hear it.
But hear it over the rain. Meanwhile, Marksman just took out someone in DeVincer's group. It wasn't the gun. I'm scrolling in to try to find the number. It was Risen. DeVincer getting shot with that Matt gun.
No.
And now Pichidu don't know what he's going to do here. DeVincer could still wake back up, but wow, knocking out that Matt gun is going to be game-changing for this. There's the kill.
Standers knows exactly what he's doing with that.
Yeah. He's looking out. He's going to catch PJ out in the open.
Game-changing.
That is... Wow.
There's no one else on green 4 anywhere around them to hear those shots.
He's not going to know that, though, so he's going to still be cautious, but he took his time. He scouted out all those targets. I mean, that's amazing. PJ waking back up and then gets immediately sat back down. So green 4 has lost its Matt team. Meanwhile, a helicopter has just landed a few guys over. The tank is just chilling. I think the tank would have been able to hear that, though, but...
None of those guys have AT. They're gonna roll.
Yeah, it's just it's a scouting group. It's a marksman team.
That's gonna be an interesting one. Let's see, who do we have on this hill off here to the
wow.
left of Red 4? Alpha 1 is Scandi Recon, reinforced with extra dudes. This is gonna be a very interesting one.
So what I'm curious to know is if Stanners is going to be able to get into radio contact with his guys to say that he just knocked out the Javelin, and I'm willing to bet he's going to take it.
I will be upset if he doesn't. He's running for it. He knows.
He is. Oh yeah, definitely. But he could get that Javelin, put it in his car, find the assistant he killed, get the extra missile, and that's going to give Op 4 Javelin rounds to use on the tank and any the 1117, the helicopter. Like, this opens so many opportunities for Op 4 to basically nullify any of Independent's advances here, especially since Op 4 has the high ground here, so they'll be able to see everything coming.
How did they not see Stanner's car?
They did. It's because DeVincer, so looking at the angle he would have had to run, I guess he just never saw it while he was running up the stairs, because he should have seen it there, but he immediately pulled the Javelin out. He was just so tunnel visioned. I guess he just didn't think about it. He had an opportunity to, but I think just was too focused on it. Yeah, Stander's running around checking the bodies. Just, wow. So yeah, he's running up to the assistant guy because he doesn't have the GL on, so he's going to be able to take that extra missile and then get in his car and then just go find another area. 24, meanwhile, doing a flyby by him as well. I mean, this is... Again, actions like that. Last time I saw the MAT team get early engaged was a Blue 4 versus Op 4 fight on this map. It was an earlier Friday night fight next to Ali Campos. On Hill 93, which is southwest of Ali Campos, the Blue 4 MAT team drove up to that position where an Op 4 marksman was, and the Op 4 marksman made short work of him. And I think Blue 4 still won.
Green 4 is about to breach. T5 Bay is about to breach the building.
I remember now. It was Op 4 defending. Blue 4 pushed up there. Op 4 put their MAT team up there, and then Blue 4 took them out because they also pushed down. It was their marksman. And then because of that, Blue 4 was able to field their BTRs in a lot better, knowing that they took out the MAT team. And because that was back when they only used like Titan and Javelins, and then Blue 4 was able to basically stomp out that objective. That's what it was.
Dooley cleared the room with the explosive charge in it and did not notice the explosive charge.
Oof. By the way, we have an Op 4 team on reserve and a Ridge in the back. I don't know what that's for. It's Scandi Recon.
They might have been expecting a push that way, but they don't know. They're already, like, the entire Green 4.
Yep, so you gotta consider this. Op 4 doesn't know that, Blue 4 is, Op 4 doesn't know that Green 4 is in this position because the Mi-24 missed them. Because otherwise, we probably wouldn't see Op 4 putting that force back there, so.
Someone is, come on.
So the Javelin tube and the camera with RHS are connected.
For explosive charges, but they closed the door where the charge was.
Amazing, but
never checked that room.
They're putting the charge down right here, and they're gonna demo it. But this isn't the type of building that blows up. So again, I think...
With enough explosives.
No, the research building doesn't have a destroyed texture.
No.
That's why I use it for like mission critical shit. But the first class here, guy, he's setting the charge. At least I thought he just did. It just disappeared on my camera, but yeah, he's resetting it, I guess because he misset it. But Op 4 still has no idea where Independent is. Stanners is now driving out down the foresty route where, the foggy route where Independent came through. Independent does have their tank overwatching the runway, slowly driving down the SSR right there. But at least when that thing goes off, the cache, Op 4 is going to get an idea of where they're coming from. We're probably going to see Scandi Recon pull back.
The fog is lifted.
You're right, the fog has lifted, and we're seeing the, I just heard the Mi-24 on Op 4 give a few shots down. Don't know what that was about. But yeah, the fog forecast definitely got set to be a little bit higher, but it's definitely increased the render distance by a few hundred meters, but...
tank is just scanning the
airfield.
Looks of it.
But yeah,
Stanners is going to be in a great position to use that javelin he stole to knock out that tank.
Definitely.
Now,
so
where is Red 4's javelin team?
Red 4's javelin team, that would be Charlie 2. By the way, looks like they're on the big hill as well, but most of Independent has cleared that compound. So when they demo that cache, they're going to be safe. I hope they don't leave the range of the charge, though, because then they're going to have to get closer and fumble for time, which is always a factor.
Somehow, people on Red 4 have managed to injure themselves already. Like, someone definitely fell off the battle tower, someone got injured by these trenches, just, you know.
Classic shenanigans there, man.
Yep. Alright, so Red 4's Mi-24 had to have seen that tank right below them. Like,
you would hope, right?
PIDing those helicopters at that altitude will also make it quite difficult.
I think we'll know if Op 4 does another pass in this area to confirm it. But we also have the independent helicopter to the south. Could come in, but they're flying incredibly low. I mean, Stanners, you're right. He's in a really good spot to schwack this tank if he spots it. I mean, he has the Javelin out.
He'll get spots on it here in a moment.
It's kind of sus that he has the Javelin out already. I guess he's
using the thermal camera to spot shit. Nothing.
True, but I mean, like, he moves a lot slower with that. Like, to me, it's like he knows, you know?
Yeah.
But I guess if he's communicating with Op 4 and Op 4 knows that Green 4 hasn't come down the routes they've already put down, I guess it's process of elimination at that point.
Hind is firing at something.
Hind's firing at the tank. Look at all the little craters next to the tank.
The tank or the Hind's rounds aren't appearing on the tracer thing. So Stanners probably is in radio communication with someone that knows the.
Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense because he's
I'm guessing.
Yeah, because it's just up the street. He'll find the tank and be able to boop it. But I guess maybe the Mi-24 is trying to get the tank to move or hold still. I don't know, but probably coordinating with Stanners to get that thing taken out.
Or get it moving faster.
Mm-hmm. But it looks like Green 4 have Ream mounted. We're gonna see this cache get destroyed any moment now. But the fog lifting is honestly only gonna really benefit Op 4 here because they still have the high ground for this operation, and we still have Op 4's tank in the middle of Aethera, ready to send in at any time. That could be a very nasty thing.
I could come in and hit him in the flank hard anytime now.
I'm surprised.
Looks like we got Hinds going after each other here in a minute.
Possibly. They're still a little far from each other. Op Force has the height advantage to Independent. I'm surprised Stanners isn't driving up to try and get one of these solar towers. That would definitely give him a good angle to hit any vehicles coming down, but we've got vehicles now ballsing to the wall through the airfield, hitting little bumps and whatnot. But Stanners might find a good spot to hit stuff, but with the Mi-24 flying low, it's going to pass right over Stanners. He could have a shot on it.
Don't be able to get a clear PID of which one it is.
He's gonna stay low instead. I would use one of the javelins against that thing, because at any point that would be just taking out the big assets with the javelin is a good call, because javelin rounds on infantry don't really do that much damage, and we still have this cache alive. Well, in Friday night fights normally you don't see the damage happen, but like it might get a kill, but usually it doesn't. It just hurts the people nearby. Yeah, I get that, Bad Wolf, but one javelin should be more than enough, but I get it. I get it. So yeah, by now, Op 4, I'm going to say, based off of where their Mi-24 has been flying and where, you know, all of these forces have been going, they know that Independent's on the airfield. I'm gonna be waiting to see this tank come in. And we also have Scandi Recon that's mounted. They're, did Independent just kill their own guys?
I think. Possibly.
I think they just murdered the BIA team. Yep. They just murdered one of their own marksman teams. Amazing. And they're double tapping their own marksman team. Jesus Christ. So, we have
not tell that's the same camo, especially at that range?
We have a marksman team killed, and we have the MAT team killed. So, I also know BIA gets a bad rap among communities, but I don't think you'd see that here in FNF. I think this is genuinely people mis-PIDing somehow. But, wow.
Uh-oh.
What?
Just,
I see
you
it.
can tell what conversation is going on over there.
Stanners, he's trying to find an angle on this tank. If he were to go on the high ground a little to the left, you might be able to find an angle, or just get on the road and pull that javelin out.
It with his marksman rifle, dude.
He's like, is that the enemy tank or the friendly tank? Also, Op 4 tank is on the move as well. Don't know where it's going. I think it's going to try to get right behind the independent forces, close the gap.
Yeah,
but
bringing that javelin out.
Yep, Green 4, by the way, have to know by now since they've been able to get to these two objectives that Op 4 is all on top of the third objective. Meanwhile, MI-24 flying right by the hill, getting some scouting data on these positions. I'm seeing a little bit of bandages around. Not sure if that's from people being silly or the MI-24 being effective with its chin gun. And we're also seeing the other MI-24 starting to lower some altitude here, firing down at where the BIA marksman team was cut down. And yeah, no, they're proning around, but I think they also just realized that they blew on blued. We're seeing some 50 cal rounds go out from the Humvee, and Stanners is trying to track the tank here.
We'll get that lock here in a second once it drives right past. Oh,
yep, tank stopped. He's gonna come closer.
As long as he gets a top attack on it, that'll knock it out, or at least disable it for sure.
Hopefully, but yeah, I mean, that's a good position you want to disable it at, definitely. Tank is, Op 4 tank's been moving to Hill 58, again, trying to find a spot to be effective here. I don't think it's going to be effective till it closes the gap. Stanners, meanwhile, closing the distance, cutting through the runway, but the tank is also moving, only to knock the fence down, though. It's trying to land some shots on that position up there. And I mean, so far, there hasn't been a single Op 4 casualty. Meanwhile, Blue Force had, Independence had 5.
Mainly due to friendly fire.
Stanners has dropped the Javelin.
What?
And the spare ammo for it.
The entire Op 4 force could possibly see Stanners if they just look to their left.
I guess he's trying to get some marksman shots on this group coming in. I mean, there is a little bit of a defilade between Stanners and the group. I'm really shocked that he dropped that Javelin.
I would definitely use it to take out that tank and risk being set. Well, you're not risking, you would be.
I mean, a marksman for a tank is a really good call. By the way, the tank gun turned around and was staring at Stanners, but deemed him to be not a threat. So MI-24 just did another attack. Scandi Recon's still way out of position. Hopefully they get recalled soon. I guess they're waiting for any potential flank here, but I don't know. Again, like the entirety of today's FNF has been just squanders, and Stanners is dead.
He did great work.
He did absolutely amazing work with that MAT team, but to then drop it and not go for like the biggest thing on the map just
would have been the biggest clutch play.
Perplexes me. Meanwhile, 2 Op 4 guys have been knocked unconscious on the HQ tower, so that MI-24 getting some good licks in. Also, we have a guy KIA on the HQ tower, so MI-24 doing some good strikes with its chin turret, but some of the things I've seen today, I literally cannot fathom. Like,
no one's even going up there to check on those dudes.
Yeah, so Bad Wolf said in my chat, the only thing he can think of is maybe Stanners didn't know how to use the Javelin and wasn't able to get a lock on it and just deemed it not worthy, because the Javelin...
He's a competent player, though.
I know, but, you know, maybe he just didn't know to go on the thermal cam, then you have to hold tab. Because it is the launcher with its own weapon system. Exactly. Because everyone believes the lock-on button's T for every other launcher. I just had a massive lag spike.
I'm still running fine. Looks like your game might be crashing.
I have crashed to an access violation.
Oof.
I guess Stanners Ghost didn't appreciate me shit-talking him. Oh well.
Well, what you just missed, Green 4 just did another gun run on the,
We'll get back in the op in 2 minutes, guys. I'm sorry about that. I haven't crashed in a while. Crash like once a month.
Oh no.
Where will you be when Armor crashes? Hopefully we'll be able to get back in time.
Stampede was trying to line up an AT shot for that. Of course your game crashes right when everything starts. All of the M2 Humvees are now firing up on the hill. incredibly high.
Narrate
so
for me, Iceberg. I need to know what's going on.
nothing is hitting. There we go. It appears the tank has finally opened fire, and they are aiming at the rear battle tower.
Independent tanks engaging. Okay.
They
Harrison,
knocked out
Harrison,
the
you have to go to a
AT
thermal
on the
camera
roof
and then
of
hold
the
tab to
battle tower.
lock on.
Everyone
Harrison.
on the AT team except the person with the javelin is down. They got everyone but the person they need to hit.
Amazing. All right, we're jumping back in the server now, guys. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why I just crashed.
Scanners, were you not able to lock? That sucks, man. Green 4 is coming in to do another gun run, but the Red 4 helicopter
Didn't lock on? That's gotta suck.
is right behind it.
Ooh.
So that heli dogfight is going to happen.
Yeah, you have to
Liru
hold
is
tab.
pushing just a few teams. They're trying to surround
Tab
the
for
tower,
lock on, hold
and
tab.
Scandi Recon is still completely out of position.
All right, we're back in the fight. Back in the fight. Back in the fight. Back on the server. MI-24s are dogfighting. Green 4 has charged this hill. We have tracers going everywhere, left, right, and central. And wow.
This because Red's AT is gone. Or sorry. Well, yeah, pretty much. Both teams are down. Their heavy AT.
Op Force tank is completely out of position. Scandi Recon completely out of position. Double rainbow in the sky. And you're right. I mean, Independent still has a really good chance here because their assets are all being used to bear. Sanders wasn't able to get that AT hit. And he needed to because
fucking off as far northeast as they can.
Of course he can, but I mean, Independent's surrounded at this point. This is all falling apart for them. T5 Bay has driven up with a vehicle. Oh my gosh. He stole a truck to move up. That's why people aren't suspicious of him. He finds Stryker. Banana Man's gonna find him though. And Banana Man smacks him, reloads to the back of French. French doesn't realize that Banana Man's a hostile. There we go. French needed to figure that one out for a second. Okay, Fred's also dismounted. That frickin' Op4 tank is nowhere to be fucking found. Scandi Recon's still nowhere to be found. Just Jesus Christ. Just the mismanagement of assets these past few missions has been really annoying to watch, in my opinion.
That battle tower is gonna get destroyed here in a second.
Yep, a lot of rounds going up there, a lot of AT. It's a sausage fest at this point.
What?
More AT going up on the tower, knocking more dudes out. I mean, there is so much going on, I can't even cover this.
Scandi Recon is hauling ass through Starvos to try and get back to the position, but they're not going to get there in time.
Op4 still having some good ground here, but Independent closing the distance, putting some good frags in. Dusty and Dre getting a 2-for-1 on Stingeon. Frags and smokes being popped in. Independent needs to pop more frags over. Iota trying to charge in. He's going to get caught in the same trap. Except Op4 didn't see him, and they let him go. Meanwhile, on the other side, Independent closing the distance as well. Rory staying on the back of the Vic. Another MI-24 strike coming in. More AT going up on the towers. Iota seems to be bandaging right here as grenades are popped by him.
What in the world's
God, there are so many Independent deaths. One of the towers has been blown out, destroying one of the Dishkas. And Scandi Recon closing the distance, try to come back. The tank still being completely worthless, and the 24s are flying close by each other.
The Green 4, or Independent MI-24 is trying to get on the 6 of Red 4.
Independent outside of the building.
Out there.
With the cash. They catch Ash from Op4 out of position. Independent T-72 pushing up. Goatland right next to him, but he has nothing he can do about it. And it looks like the tank's trying to ram this area, but there's a vehicle destroyed. Goatland might catch Dingo out in the open right here. Goatland's at 5 kills, by the way. Hot damn. Iota getting caught out by Dusty and MG down. Independent trying to breach in on Marco. Get caught with no ammo. Marco trying to roll away, gets gunned down. Goatlin getting some shots in the rear of some independent forces. This is absolute madness here, and you're seeing 50 cals and everything going up onto hostile Vix. Where is Scandi Recon? Where is the Op 4 tank as the Green 4 Mi-24 is tailing the Op 4 one?
Don't worry, they agreed. The Red 4 tank is on break. They're in Telos getting a...
Being fucking useless the entire operation.
Why they went off to as far?
I think they were pulled over there to try to flank Green 4 coming in, but Op 4 never got solid data on where Green 4 was. Goatlin, meanwhile, 6 kills, hitting the rear, but he goes down to JY. Other tower gets destroyed, and Green 4 is on top of the cache. It's GG. Op 4 just got completely annihilated.
They're just trying to mag dump the cache.
Yep, Bluck, the only Op 4 guy still up here, managing to knock 2 guys out. God damn, Scandi Recon pushing in, but it is too late. What a squander. That was working so well for Op 4, and then massive miscommunication just ruined it, in my opinion.
That was such a quick round, just, I feel like there was just no communication.
Everything just completely fell apart there. What a shame. All right, guys, we'll be back in an hour and a half for the NA branch of Friday Night Fights. I hope to see you join me there. Yep, I'll be back up in a sec. I hope to see you there, guys. Wow, just great fights, but a serious amount of squandering of assets, especially the tanks in the first and third rounds. So it hurts. It hurts to see that, because those assets, had they been used, would have definitely changed the tide. But what can you do? Again, we have the bias of being in a bird's eye view and seeing everything, but, you know, they have to rely on communicating with each other to make things work. So, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think Op 4 made a mistake of putting too many guys in those battle towers that could have been blown up easily, and they paid for it, especially with that Matt team guy, but I don't know, man. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Might stream some Among Us in the meantime. Otherwise, we'll be back in an hour and a half for the NA branch. Hope to see you there. Go operate operationally. Enjoy your Friday, and hopefully I'll see you soon.